So yeah, let's we could probably go through this. We can come to a collective thing on this. So it goes in order from best to worst, perfect down to the last detail. Incredible album, pretty good, okay, terrible, dog crap, never heard.
All right.
And I guess either we can just come to like one consensus if one of us has heard it, or if both of us have heard it, we kind of try and meet in the middle somewhere, or something like that. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Alright, first album up, Issues by Korn.
Issues, really?
Yes.
Where's that one at?
No, it's like literally the first album that's shown up in like the order.
Oh, oh, that one. I haven't actually heard this album. Not front to back.
I mean, let's make a rule and say that if we've heard at least half of the album, then it counts.
So I've got Falling Away from Me, obviously. Make Me Bad. And that's it. Obviously, it's a very influential album by Korn, but I've not heard it front to back. I haven't heard, I don't think any Korn album front to back for that matter. So my opinion is skewed, but it's got to be at least pretty decent.
Okay, let's put it in the okay category, just because we don't know. Okay, Reload by Metallica.
So what were the tiers again?
So the tiers are perfect down to the last detail, incredible album, pretty good, okay, terrible, dog crap, and a never heard category.
I'd say Reload is pretty good, actually. Let me look at Reload again, because I know I liked Reload, but Reload had some.
Now, are you one of those Metallica fans who shares a consensus that really it should have just been one album split amongst one album of composed of all the best songs on both instead of two albums split together?
It's too much. There's actually a lot of really good songs in this one. That's the thing. And there's a lot of really it. It's more of a feeling than anything that Reload kind of brings to the table. It's just kind of dark is the best way I can describe it. It
Mm.
just got a weird aura to it that I can't really explain. Uh, each of those albums, I think, needs to have their own space, and each of the songs are solid enough where I can't justify them taking the best and just slapping it together.
Hmm.
I'd say it's pretty good.
All right.
It's not going to get any better than that, though, and I think I'm already, according to some Metallica fans out there, I'm already saying hearsay by saying it's pretty good.
Moving on to the next Metallica album, Kill 'Em All.
Ooh, classic one.
I think the only song I've heard of off of it was Seek and Destroy.
Hit the Lights, Four Horsemen, Whiplash. Oh my god. And Anastasia, Pulling Teeth, Seek and Destroy. Yeah, it's classic thrash. It's okay. What's above pretty good?
Incredible album. And then
I'd say
above.
it's an incredible album. Honestly,
All right. 10,000 Days by Tool.
uh,
I could speak to this one.
yeah.
All right, so opens up strong with Vicarious. Really solid guitar line, really solid drum line. Lyrics are incredibly relevant. Zombie is another solid follow up to it. Kind of has a more softer tone, but still manages to be good track. Wings for Marie and 10,000 Days Together are probably the two most emotional songs in their catalog for good fucking reason, given the subject matter of what they're about. Um, most of the of the instrumental interludes I don't think are nearly as strong as the ones off of Anima or Lateralis. I fucking hate the pod. I fucking hate the pod so goddamn
Really?
much. It just bugs the absolute fucking shit out of me. And it doesn't help that it's like the only quote unquote, one of the few quote unquote radio friendly Tool songs, so you hear it all the
All
goddamn
the
time.
fucking time.
And it gets sick after a while. Um, Rosetta Stone is a pretty solid one. Got a bit of a dark humor vibe going to it. Very nice kind of experimental meets thrash metal track. Pretty underrated. Raiden 2 is just so friggin' preachy though. I really can't stand it. And I it kind of laid down as some of the problems that I ended up having with Fear Inoculum, where it just layers on more noise and more world drum sounds and more this and this and this, and just ends up, some of them do feel kind of bloated. So it's not as strong as, I'd say it's thoroughly in the middle of Tool's discography. It's not as good as the two albums that came before it, but it is better than both Undertow and Fear Inoculum. So I'd put it in the pretty good category myself.
Okay.
Enema of the State by Blink 182.
Oh my god, hold on. Ah, damn it. Okay, let's see here. Man, I know the 3 popular songs off of this one.
Same here.
Damn it. I think that speaks to the album in and of itself, that only 3 of the songs are incredibly popular and none of the other ones I've ever heard of in my life.
To be fair, those 3 popular songs are pretty solid.
They're fucking amazing. So I'd be willing to say it's okay.
Alright. Yeah, probably one of those albums to listen to front to back, though. Dear Agony by Breaking Benjamin.
Ooh, that one I've not heard.
I've heard some tracks off of it. Obviously the title track, which, yeah, I've listened to quite a bit in one of my more funkier moods.
Mm-hmm.
I Will Not Bow's also off there.
Yeah, I did recognize that one. I Will Not Bow and Fade Away.
I mean, there are some solid tracks on there, but I haven't heard it front to back to really give my honest opinion on it.
Yeah, no, you know better than I do, so.
I'd put it in okay just because, the songs I have heard of it from good, I just haven't heard it front to back.
Mm-hmm.
Dirt by Alice in Chains.
Yo, Dirt. Holy shit.
Solid fucking album, in my opinion.
Absolutely. 100%.
Probably gave us all the classic Alice in Chain tracks.
Let's have a look. So we got Them Bones. Holy crap. I love Them Bones. Wow. And then it takes a little bit to get to Wood, Down on a Hole, Rooster, Dirt, Angry Chair. Live.
I mean, even even some of the less popular songs like "Damn the River" are solid tracks in their own right.
I haven't heard that one. Is it? Oh, it goes 1, 2, 3. Okay, so
Yeah.
Them Bones, Damn That River, Down, Rain When I Die, Down on a Hole, Sick Man, Rooster, Junkhead, Dirt, Godsmack, Iron Glen, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, and Wood. And given the tracks that I do know off of that, that is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I've listened to it front to back. It's not the easy. You got to be in a mood to listen to it, but
Oh
what a
no,
mood it
Alice in
is.
Chains in general is just a mood.
Yeah, I'd put it in the incredible album myself. What about you?
Yeah, I don't argue with that at all. It's an incredible album. I mean, Alice in Chains just in general, the little stuff that they did put out and have just stood the test of time. My God.
You can probably speak to this better than I can. The Color and the Shape by Foo Fighters.
Whew.
Only
Actually, I
song
should
I've
probably look this up on
heard off of
Spotify.
it is, I want to
Man, I
say
want.
Everlong.
It's
And
Everlong. It's Everlong, but it also has
is Monkey Wrench
Monkey
off of it?
Wrench.
Yeah, I've heard Monkey
Yes,
Wrench
it
as
does.
well.
It also has a My Hero.
Oh, really?
Yes, Walking After You, Up in Arms, and maybe you've heard this one, Hey Johnny Park.
I have not heard that one.
All of those are great songs. I've listened to the album once front to back, and it is a pretty great album. I wouldn't say it's incredible,
Pretty good.
but it's just a damn solid album. Like it's Foo Fighters, and obviously I do really enjoyed the Foo Fighters. I should listen to that album again, but I don't know. It's not an album that like pulls me in and draws me in and leaves me wanting to listen to the whole thing.
Mm.
But obviously, there's so many songs off of it that are just wow. Look, I know this song. This is a good song.
Faceless by Godsmack.
Oh man, I've listened to this one front to back a few times,
The
just
only
because
one
it
I,
was what I had available.
the only song I recognize off of it is I Stand Alone, which I don't know. It's been overplayed so much that I don't really feel anything when it gets played anymore.
Oh, Serenity. Oh, I love Serenity. But yeah, given that I only know those two songs, I it's all right.
Oh God. Human Clay by Creed.
I have not listened to that.
Arms Wide Open and Higher were both on this album.
Of course, it's probably their one popular album.
I don't know. I'd put it in the terrible category myself.
I know you would, but those songs alone are not terrible.
Oh come on, you're seriously
And
telling me that Higher is listenable?
it's listenable. And let's give Creed something. This is probably their one album that is mentionable.
Is that really enough though?
I'd say it's enough. It's not terrible, but what's one above terrible actually?
Okay.
Hmm.
And the one below it is Dog
Hmm.
Crap, and I don't think it's that bad.
It's okay. Yeah, no. Terrible sounds like an insult. Like you could say it's bad, but saying it's terrible is something. But also, it's not dog crap. So yeah, let's go terrible.
Indestructible by Disturbed.
Yo,
There's some solid fucking tracks on that album. A lot of solid tracks. There's a
I
title track,
think.
obviously. Then it moves on to Inside the Fire, if I remember right.
Let's see. Here we go. Yep. Indestructible, Inside the Fire, Deceiver, The Night, Perfect Insanity, Hunted, Enough, The Curse, Torn, Criminal Divide, Facade. So obviously, it has an incredibly energetic and violent start,
Yep.
and very charged with emotion, just in general. Of the first 5 songs, I have 3 on my personal Spotify list,
Same.
but I think it peters off towards the end.
I'd have to agree with
Because
that.
And if you try to carry that sort of energy through the album
You're gonna
entirely,
gas
that's
out.
what you're gonna gas out. That's what tends to happen. If you don't have any movement or don't have enough momentum with your songs to carry it through, like you just end up petering out. And few bands can keep momentum for 10 songs like that.
Yeah. So pretty good, we'd
It's
say.
pretty good. Pretty dang good.
Life Starts Now by 3 Days Grace.
Ooh.
Haven't heard that many songs off of it. Not compared to the
Ah.
self-titled and 1X.
Let's see here. Albums. Well, discography. Show all. Life Starts Now. Bitter Taste Break. World Too Cold. Lost to You. Good Life. Oh. Wow. That's surprising. I only know 2 of the songs off of it. I can't comment on it.
Yeah, I can't either. I only know, I think, 2 or 3 songs off of it. It's not bad, but it's not their best either.
No. I love Break, though. Break and Good Life.
Yeah, I'd say it's okay.
Yeah.
Silver Side Up by Nickelback.
Oh, damn. You're going to make me do this one, huh?
Hey, this is just the list as it is presented.
This is true. So man, How You Remind Me is the one song I know from that album and specifically.
I feel like it's more of a meme at this point, though. Kind of, sort of.
Unfortunately, it is more of a meme. It's still a great song, don't get me wrong. But I don't know the rest of the album at all.
I think I might know a few more tracks off of it. Let's see here. Can't believe I'm actually looking up Nickelback on my Spotify. Goddamn.
It's okay. It won't strike you unless you listen to it too much.
Never
Or at some
again.
point, the algorithm is going to say, "You listened to one Nickelback song?"
Yeah, How You Remind Me is the only one I recognize, and
See, right?
yeah. I don't know. I can't justify putting it in okay tier,
And not if
honestly.
I don't know it at all. I would have to listen to it to come back to it. So that I'd put like an asterisk on ones that we haven't listened to front to back wholly.
I'll
So
just put them
like,
in the never heard category,
yeah,
just to be on the safe side.
that's right. We do have that.
All right, Rage in Favor of the Machine. I mean, Rage Against the Machine. Self-titled album.
Oh, self-titled.
Yeah, the only track anyone recognizes is Killing in the Name.
I've never. I'm gonna be biased here because I don't particularly enjoy Rage Against the Machine, despite
I
I
hate,
love their messaging, but I can't.
I hate him. I hate him so bad.
Appreciate the message, but god damn it, can I listen to your songs for more than 3 minutes?
No, no, you cannot.
Uh,
Honestly, I'm tempted to put almost every album of theirs into terrible at best.
well, I've never heard it, so it's gonna have to be an honest review there because I you just never heard it.
All right, Rise by Skillet.
Skillet. Whoops, Skillet.
We like Skillet.
I do like Skillet. I've just not listened. How? When did they come out with this one?
I want to say it was like the early 2010s, maybe.
Let's see here. It was 2013. It was after Awake. I didn't actually listen to Rise at all.
You had to have heard some songs off of Rise though.
I don't know. Wait,
Title,
hold on. Actually,
title
they're
track,
playing it on the radio.
Not Gonna Die.
Let's see here. Play it really quiet. Yep, I've heard Rise.
Not Gonna Die is also off that album. You had
Let's
to have
see
heard
here.
that at some point.
I haven't yet, actually.
Huh.
I'd only heard Rise.
It's a solid song.
Solid song.
I've also heard
Have you heard?
Circus. I've also heard Circus for a Psycho off of it. That's a pretty good song as well.
So would you be comfortable in saying that the whole album as a whole is probably it's okay.
It's okay.
All right. At
Um,
the same time, I feel like Indestructible has to be higher up than a good amount of these ones on the It's Okay list.
no, no, Indestructible is in the pretty good category.
Oh, pretty good. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Next up, sticking with Skillet, Unleashed.
Unleashed. That one I am more familiar with. I only know that I know. No, one, two, three,
I'll name
four.
I'll name two songs that you probably know: The Resistance and Feel Invincible.
No, actually,
Really?
off of Wake.
No, off of Unleashed.
Oh, Unleashed. Oh, whoops.
Unleashed.
I don't actually know that one. Hold on. I went the wrong way.
You took a hard left into Albuquerque.
All right. Yep. Feel Invincible. And which one was the other one?
The Resistance.
The Resistance. Ah, it's the last one. I have not heard this before.
Hmm.
I've only heard Feel Invincible.
I gotta be in a mood to listen to it, because otherwise it can get really repetitive sounding.
Yeah, that's unfortunately a lot of what Skillet's sound is. I mean, they nailed down their sound. It's fantastic. However, songs start to run together a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
They're not the only band to have that problem.
They're not. So would you say put it in the never heard category just to be safe?
I would put Never Heard. I don't know about you.
I've only listened to two songs off of it, so I'm not in any mood to judge it fairly.
There we go.
Uh, the fuck? Man, I fucking hate it when metal bands decide to get artsy with their stupid fonts sometimes.
Well, what is it?
Spit by Kitty. You ever heard of it before? I've never heard of it before.
Huh. I've heard of the band, but I've never heard. It's from 2000.
Yeah, I've never heard of the band or the album itself.
I've only heard of the band. I haven't heard the album at all. I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, let's never heard.
Somebody said this is some of the top albums of all time.
I doubt that.
There's no way. All right, we keep going.
Stadium Arcadium by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this album.
Really? Let's see here. Danny California. Hey yo. All right. And then yeah, the. All right. And there's a B-side. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I really think this is kind of the point when their
It's
music just started to become a parody of itself.
yeah, it meanders a bit just by looking at the track list. Like, oh, I know that song. Oh, that's a lot of songs.
Yeah, I honestly think this album's pretty weak, in all honesty.
The highlights are there. However,
I hate snow. I'll just say right now, I hate snow.
really?
I
Huh.
fucking hate snow
Why
so
do you hate
bad.
snow?
I it just it encapsulates the worst tendencies of some of the more mediocre tracks of um, Red Hot Chili Peppers. The music's not really that good. Anthony Kiedis is just mumbling a bunch of jarbled nonsense that's supposed to sound deep, but really makes him sound like he's lost his goddamn mind.
I
And
mean, that's kind of what he does on stage.
and and honestly, like it's also in the worst kind of way where you want to forget that you just heard it, but it's just memorable enough that it gets stuck in your fucking head even though you don't want it to. I
I really
detest.
just enjoy this song, honestly.
I,
I
det-
just kind of vibe along with it.
I don't like it one bit.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the most interesting song musically, but it just kind of it's a certain there's a certain mood to the song that I just very much enjoy.
Would
And
oh,
huh?
no, go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything important.
I I I I'll just put it in okay because I can't justify it being
I
any
mean,
higher.
Stadium Arcadium as a whole, man. I haven't listened to the whole thing, and if I know two songs from how many on the track list? Oh yes, out of 29.
Yeah, that's way too goddamn much.
That's too many. Like I listen. You were perfectly right with it being the encapsulation of everything Red Hot Chili Peppers is doing because it goes on for too long and meanders for way too much. It can be a vibe sometimes. It could be a certain mood and it really just feels right on one song. But if that's a whole goddamn album,
It's gonna get pretty sick to listen to pretty fast.
yes, absolutely. And I get there's some songs that you just can't leave on the cutting room floor. Load and Reload are evidence of that, and I love them. But sometimes you gotta leave some of it.
All right. Faith No More. I think it's their self-titled album, if I remember right. It's the one that's
I know
got
one
Epic on
song
it.
from them.
Yeah, it's
I know one song.
and it's the album with the one song on it, and it's a good song, but
It's a good song. I have no idea what the rest of the album sounds like.
yeah. Um, let's see here. The self-titled 3 Days Grace album.
Oh, now we're talking.
I only know one song off of it. No, two songs off of it actually.
Let's see here. I just need to double check albums. Need to be certain I know what I'm looking at. Yep. All right. Perfect. Just like you, I hate everything about you. Home. Damn. I don't know the rest of it. I need to listen to more albums front to back.
But of the songs that you've heard, where will we place it?
I'd say it's pretty good because this is 3 Days Grace's breakout album, right? This is literally their first album, and it has Just Like You, I Hate Everything About You, Home. Just having that sort of quality and musicality to them off the bat is phenomenal. And they took off or they kept going for a good reason. So I'd feel pretty confident saying it's pretty good, but kind of lower on that end. More towards it's okay.
Um, Battle of Los Angeles by Rage in Favor of the Machine.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
listen to them.
I don't listen to them either.
There's a reason I don't listen to them.
Yeah. Untouchables by Korn.
Oh, there we go.
I don't think I've heard any songs off of this album.
There's a couple of them that do stand out to me. All right, Here to Stay. Alone I Break. Let's see here. I only know the two songs, so I unfortunately can't comment on the rest of it. I say having made comments on 3 Days Grace's first album, but hey,
Probably in the never heard category just to be on the safe side.
just to be on the safe side, I think you need to at least have heard three to give a
Fair enough.
good review of it. Unless it's, I think Stadium Arcadium is a notable exception there because good God, I'm not listening to 29 songs.
See You on the Other Side by Korn.
I don't think I've heard that one.
I know Coming Undone is off of it, and that's the only song I know that's off of it.
Yeah,
Same for you?
yeah.
Alright, let's see here. Hats Off to the Bull by Chevelle.
I know that song by Chevelle.
Literally, you know the title track?
That's it. That is it.
Okay, fair enough. Use Your Illusion Part 2 by Guns N' Roses.
Oh, I actually do know some songs off of this one. I didn't expect to. Let's see here. Yesterday's Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Oh,
Shotgun Blues.
not gonna
You
have
Could Be Mine.
some good songs here, but still not enough to warrant, well, no, you've heard three.
I
Obvious,
still don't know the character of the entire album off of those three because that's a. I don't know. I don't know Guns N' Roses' discography well enough to really comment.
fair enough.
Like I feel like I know 3 Days Grace better than I know Guns N' Roses, and I do like Knock on Heaven's Door, but it is a cover.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good cover.
It's a good
Don't get me
cover.
wrong, very good cover. Uh, I don't know. I feel like there's stronger albums from Guns N' Roses.
That's true. Alright, Anima by Tool.
All right, Mr. Tool.
Starts off really strong. Stinkfist to Eulogy to H to 46 and 2 to Hooker with a Penis. All solid. All have varying different kinds of moods. All have varying different kinds of tones to them. Instrumentality solid. Lyrics are solid. Still doesn't have the distinct Tool sound yet. Still kind of feels a little bit like a lot of the industrial 90s industrial metal bands that were popular around that time, but still solid. After the literal intermission, though, I feel like it gets a bit more uneven than that. Some songs are pretty solid. Some, not so much. As a whole, I do not think it is the strongest Tool experience that there is. Definitely think the first half is stronger than the second half. But there are still some solid bangers off the second half, and it's still, all things considered, a solid, I'd say, 8.5 out of 10 album. So I personally put it in the pretty good category myself.
Okay.
Let's see here. Bloodstone and Diamonds by Machine Head. I have not heard of Machine Head.
Nope.
Yeah.
Of course, I've heard of Machine Head, but
Yeah, we know the Bush song Machine Head, but but not the band Machine Head.
no, I know the band Machine Head. I've seen them in concert.
Oh.
Pretty cool. Don't know the don't know the album.
Let's see here. I want to say it's a dope album. Doesn't have a title. Have you heard Dope before?
Nope.
Yeah, me neither. Uh, let's see here. Jesus Christ, how many fucking albums do they have? Okay, Octavarium by Dream Theater.
I have not heard Dream Theater.
Yeah, same here. There's a lot of Dream Theater albums though, so I'll a lot of Dream Theater. Okay, Volume 4 by Black Sabbath.
Let's see here.
I don't recognize any of the goddamn songs on here.
Let's have a look. See. I know one, Supernut, and that's it. And I haven't even heard the song. I just know of it. I know it exists. Yeah, no. Next.
Statement by Nonpoint. I don't
What
know.
was this list again?
What?
The list.
Best metal rock albums of all time?
I.
Yeah,
Alright, we're gonna keep going.
Yeah. The Razor's Edge by AC/DC.
There we go. That's a little closer. Alright, starting off strong with Thunderstruck, then Fire Your Guns, Money Talks, Razor's Edge. And then I don't know the rest of the album. There's a stronger album out there other than the Razor's Edge, but I know Razor's Edge is obviously a very good album. But you have albums like Back in Black,
Highway to Hell.
High Voltage. Actually, not High Voltage. High Voltage was a little bit of a miss, actually.
So what, you put it in the pretty good category?
It's pretty good.
1X by 3 Days Grace.
There we go.
I think this is still probably their best album that they've made.
Yep. I'd agree. It's all over. Pain, Animal I've Become, Never Too Late, On My Own, Riot, Get Out Alive, Let It Die, Over and Over, Time and Dying, Gone Forever. Finishing out with 1X. That's a really solid showing from them. I can't really tell you what the album's about, other than angst.
Oh no, the entire album is about Adam Gantier's journey through rehab, trying to get off of Oxy. Like him and his wife literally wrote the lyrics while he was in rehab.
Wow.
So all the songs kind of tie into the recovery process and the process of being an addict and trying to cope with it.
Yeah, and I think hearing that, it makes complete and total sense hearing all of those. That's a pretty damn good album. It's above good.
Perfect down to the last Then
Nits.
incredible album, and then perfect down to the last detail. I don't think there really is
I
such a thing as a perfect album.
there there's a couple of them, but I'd say is an incredible album.
I'd agree with that. All right, I don't know what that is, and there's no artist. It's just like a black. It's a black background with an umbrella with raindrops on it. I don't know who
Oh
does
wait,
it.
is that fucking Bring Me the Horizon?
Knowing those pretentious twats it might be.
Oh no, it absolutely is. It's the one Thrones off of. Did they seriously not give a title? Did they just give? Did this list just show you the fucking album?
It just shows the album cover, and you gotta
What the
figure it
fuck
out for
is this
yourself.
list? Okay, so here's the thing. The title is, or the album is called "That's the Spirit,"
Mm.
and I know two songs off of it, and that's "Happy Song" and "Throne." Uh, "Throne" is the Giga Chad song, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Actually, let me. Nope.
No, I thought it was "Can You
No,
Hear
it's
Me in the
not that one.
Dark" was the Giga
That
Chat song.
"Can You Feel My Heart?" Can we?
Yeah,
That's the one.
yeah, that stupid song.
Still, "Throne" and "Happy Song" are pretty good. "Happy Song" is damn. I don't know how to describe "Happy Song" except it's no, I do know how to describe it. It's incredibly cynical, sarcastic, full of angst, and the guitars bite really hard. "Throne" is a much lighter upswing from that. "Throne" is all about self-confidence and not letting anybody keep you down. But then those two songs follow each other. I don't know what the album's really at that point about with that kind of tonal change all of a sudden. I haven't listened to it front to back. I do like Bring Me the Horizon, but knowing only two songs, I can't really comment too much on it, but I don't know if it's the strongest album if it goes from Happy Song directly into Throne. That doesn't make sense to me.
Fair enough. Okay, "Sound of Madness" by Shinedown.
There we go. All right, let's see.
I
know
have listened to
at
this
least
album
once.
front to back.
Ooh,
So, starts off pretty well with a 1-2 punch of both Devour and the title track. Really gets you going. Then it moves on to Second Chance.
love that song.
Love that song too. Then it goes to Cry for Help. Another pretty solid song. Bit more hardcore. Kind of flip-flops between the harder sounding arena rock stuff and the more softer introspective stuff.
Okay.
And for the most part, it works. Then after that you have The Crow and the Butterfly, which is a really, really beautiful song actually, about having
Really?
to. Yeah, basically it's about trying to cope with the death of a loved one and kind of the aftermath
Aw.
of it. And then
That's
after
damn.
that, and then after that is you if you only knew. You know that song.
If you only knew.
And then you go to Sin with a Grin, which is a bit of a harder song, pretty awesome one. Then you go to What a Shame, which is probably one of the most emotionally resonant songs in their category. Basically about trying not to judge a guy who ended up dying and did his best because everybody just saw him as a complete drunk and they just just only looked at that and didn't look past who he actually was. Then you have
Damn.
Cyanide, Sweet Tooth, Suicide. Again, a bit of a harder core track. Then you've got the 1-2 punch of Breaking Inside and Call Me. Both more emotionally resonant. Then it kind of finished, and then I Own You, which is another solid song. I think the energy in Son of Sam are kind of a bit of a wet fart to end the album on, but otherwise there's like a lot of solid tracks on Sound of Madness, and even though it kind of flip-flops between styles and subject matter and tone and everything, it doesn't feel jarring, to say the least. It actually kind of flows together very well. So me personally, I'd honestly say it's an incredible album.
Okay, I was gonna say it seems a little. Seems like the tone is a little bit all over the place, and it doesn't feel like it has much of a direction to go with it. But if you say it works and it flows together well, then they
It it it
selected the songs
it,
well.
it honestly does. If you listen to the album front to back, and come on, you've heard a ton of songs off of it. This gave Shinedown a lot of their hits.
Oh yeah.
But like if you actually listen to the album front to back, it actually does work. So yeah,
Okay.
best album Shinedown ever made.
That is absolutely correct. A damn shame that.
To be fair, the albums that have followed it have their solid moments, but Sound of Madness was just like lightning in a fucking bottle, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Next up, 10 by Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam. Oh god, this album.
This is the album that has Even Flow, Alive,
No, I know
Black.
this album is incredible. I know it is factually incredible. It has a lot of really good songs. I know it opens with Once, Even Flow, Alive, Jeremy on it.
I feel like there's a but there.
There is a but there, and I'm trying to find a good way to word this. I think I have a little bit of a oh god bias against Pearl Jam. They're great. Eddie Vedder is amazing, but I have a friend of mine who insists that Pearl Jam is far and away, in
No,
all
you told me.
respects,
You
yeah,
told me.
better than Nirvana, which just kind of blows my mind. Like, I get it, but huh? What are you saying?
I mean, I listened to a Pearl Jam album before I would listen to fucking Nirvana. That much is for
It
certain.
it's true, but you cannot deny how fucking incredibly popular Nirvana was.
Oh, you can't deny it at all. You'd be an idiot if you did.
So guess what he does?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. So it just drives me up the wall that he, for some reason, just thinks Nirvana was absolutely nothing when very clearly they had something going.
So you'd say
But no,
it's on the
10
higher
is
end of
still.
pretty good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I haven't heard the album front to back, but I do know enough about Pearl Jam and this album to know that it is a good fucking album.
Phobia by Breaking Benjamin.
I haven't heard this one, don't think.
I I think there's a few songs off of there that I recognize. Here we go. Diary of Jane, Breath, You, Evil Angel, Until the End, Dance with the Devil, Unknown
Oh,
Soldier.
wait, it's that album?
Yeah.
Okay, wow, okay, I didn't know that. Just goes to show how much I know Breaking Benjamin's discography.
Yeah, same here. I mean, there's some pretty solid tracks on here.
Diary of Jane, obviously.
Unknown Soldier is a pretty solid one as well.
Absolutely. But I cannot rightfully speak on the rest of the album.
I think I might have heard Breathing Until the End at some point, but it's been a hot minute since I have, so we'll just be safe. We'll put it in the. No, actually, let's put it in the okay tier.
Alright.
Volume 3 Subliminal Verses by Slipknot.
Oh my fucking god.
I'd say this is a pretty fucking solid album myself.
This so far is the closest I think we come to a perfect album. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I gotta admit, there's not really any bad tracks
There,
off of Subliminal Verses.
despite it being 22 songs long, in the edition on Spotify, it is only 18 on the regular album. It just flows together so well that it doesn't feel that way. There is a few instrumental. Oh, fucking sick.
Oh.
Yeah, Prelude 3.0, Blister exists, 3-0 Duality, Opium of the People, Circle Welcome, Vermilion, Pulse of the Maggots. Before I forget, Vermilion Part 2, The Nameless, Virus of Life, Danger, Keep Away. It just. This album finds a way to put on the energy and take breaks when it needs to. And it keeps up relentlessly. It is just such a good album to listen to front to back. And it does have its slow moments to really keep up the pace, especially with some of the harder songs like Danger Keep Away as it gets further into the list. Because Vermilion Part 2
Yeah.
is a very slow, very somber, but still keeps the same message. Oh. But I find it interesting, especially with Vermilion, that Vermilion keeps the same message, but it's the same violence, it's the same.
But yet it's the way
Uh,
it's presented that makes a
it's
complete
the
contrast to.
aftermath. It's the aftermath of that. It's the hard crash, the realization. It's kind of is an underpinning of I think the entire album, in a way,
Mm. I mean, it
because it
loses
is.
a little bit of the harder edge of both the self-titled and Iowa, but I think it makes more than makes up for it in terms of how much more refined it sounds compared to those two.
It's so refined. They really were hitting their stride with this album and found a way to keep the violence going, and also add some little bits of commentary to it as well.
So, pretty good, bordering on perfect down to the last detail, or just straight into the top tier.
It's not perfect. It is not a perfect album because it does have its slower moments. And it is a little long, but it is still an incredible listen from front to back. It's not a perfect album, but it is almost there.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I can't deny that. Next up is Gnomes de Mer by A Perfect Circle.
I haven't heard a Perfect Circle.
Really, you've never heard of
Have
it?
you?
I've
Oh
heard
no, I
of.
have. I have. I haven't heard that album.
You've probably heard the one song off of it,
Yep.
and it's a good song. Not gonna lie, or Murder Knobs, I should say. The only albums by Perfect Circle I've come close to listening front to back have been 13th Step, which is a really solid album in its own right, and Emotive, which is kind of this semi-protest album based off of a bunch of covers. So like When the Levee Breaks, Imagine, few other songs there as well. Um, so I haven't listened to Murder Noms front to back. I can't really give my opinion as to whether it's good or not. I mean, Judith is a solid song, but it's not enough for me to really judge it as a whole. So I
Right.
I just put it in the never heard category. Okay, System of a Down self-titled album.
Oh my God! Finally.
Let me just remind myself of what songs are on here.
The track list is as follows: Prison Song.
No, that you're thinking of Toxicity. This is like their first
Oh,
album.
Toxicity. Oh, that's right. That's right.
The first album they did.
Sorry, I looked up System of a Down, went to the album, was like, wait a minute. All right, the album System of a Down. Sweet Pea? No. Sugar. Suggestions: Spiders. Soil. War. Mind. People. Cube Art. Darts. Pluck. And then there's a second disc that's all live.
I've heard of 3 songs off of it. Definitely it's a little bit rougher around the edges compared to just even Toxicity. You can definitely tell that they're still kind of finding themselves. Um, definitely, has all the kind of the hallmarks you have. I mean, if you listen to Sugar, it sounds just like
Nah.
it sounds just like an album you would expect. Spiders is a pretty solid track despite being slower and more somber in tone.
I do love spiders.
Sweet Pea is also a pretty solid opener. But other than that, I just it's not bad. I just think that all the other System of a Down albums are a lot stronger. So honestly, I just kind of put it in okay.
Yeah, it's at the beginning. I don't think System of a Down really knew where they were musically. They just kind of got together and did their thing. But both Serge and Darren Malakian did grow as artists throughout their experience with System of a Down.
Yeah.
So I think it's just as the beginning, it makes sense that it's the beginning. So it's not going to be as you said as good as the other stuff that they've done.
All right, next up, Attention, Attention by Shinedown.
Uh,
The only song I've heard off of it is Monsters. No, I've also heard Get Up as well. I like Monsters a lot. I think it's probably.
I don't think I've heard it.
I think it's probably one of the strongest singles that they've done since Cut the Cord off of Threat to Survival.
Oh God, I love Cut the Cord.
Yeah, Cut the Cord's an awesome song. So yeah, I've only heard two songs off of it. Monsters is a solid album, probably one of my favorites from them. Get Up is all right. Uh, don't really have much else to judge it off of. I'll just put it in the never heard category. Be on the safe side.
Probably safer that way.
All right, next up, This Type of Thinking Could Do Us In by Chevelle.
Refer to the last Chevelle album, in which I've never heard a Chevelle album.
Sehnsucht by Rammstein. Or
Ooh,
Sehnsucht. This is the album that has Du Hast off of it.
Yeah.
Du
Son
Hast.
is their top song? Du Hast is the most listened, but Son is the most popular according to Spotify? Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not complaining. I love Son. Oh, man. I only know...
Du Hast.
Oh, I know Engel. I know Engel.
Oh,
Heard that one.
but still not enough to really, judge it as a whole.
No. Not well enough. Especially considering that I've listened to two other of their albums that have come out recently, front to back, and yeah.
I want to say Sinner by Drowning Pool.
Yo!
Oh, you actually have heard that album besides Bodies.
I've heard one song. You want to guess what it is?
Bodies.
No, I've one other song.
Oh, no. No, I don't.
It's Sinner.
Oh.
The title track. Oh my god, it's the title. It starts out with that one. Oh no. I love Sinner. Sinner into Bodies is incredible. More think of Bodies
Uh-huh.
with a bit of the same aggression, but the melody is a lot smoother.
Mm.
It's less all out raw violence and more of, hey, look at me, I'm here. But I can't comment on the rest of the album, quite unfortunately. Because that's the first two songs, and I have no idea what the rest of the album is going to be like. I don't know if it slows down, speeds up, takes breaks. I don't know. It's a damn shame, too, because God, Drowning Pool wasn't around long enough.
No, they weren't. Sadly. Lateralis by Tool.
All right, buddy.
Oh God. Starts off pretty much every single vocal song, almost every single vocal song off of it really does hit all the notes. Starts off with a grudge. Really hard, really aggressive, really gets the blood flowing, especially towards the end when Maynard just lets out a primal metal scream that goes on for 40 seconds. I swear to God, that's the truth. Then you move on to The Patient. Very nice song, very kind of much more reflective in tone. Then you've got. Then you move on to that into Schism. Schism solid. I like Schism.
Good song.
It is. Then you move on to the 1-2 punch of Parable and Parabola, which is an experience in and of itself. Then you move on to Tix. What?
Saying anything about Tool as an experience in and of itself is an understatement.
I know. And then you move on to Ticks and Leeches, which admittedly I had to warm up a little bit on over the years. A little bit too screamo, but I do mind. But I do have come to appreciate the more aggressive change of pace from the softer stuff. Then you've got Lateralis. Got the fucking title track. Favorite song ever. Listen to that song constantly and never get sick of it. And then after that high, the rest of the album can't really compare to that. Not to say that the rest of the album is bad. I actually like Disposition, the song that immediately follows after it, quite a bit. I like it's very nice, very low-key, very relaxing. But considering that Lateralis pretty much is peak fucking Tool, everything after that is just not going to be able to compare to those heights. It just isn't. Based on sheer quality alone, nothing is going to be able to top it. In fact, every time I listen to it, it's like, wow, this is awesome. Oh, right. There's still about 4 or 5 more songs left on this. So, it obviously it's Tool's best effort by far. I can't say enough good things about it. I just really do think that it kind of ends badly, and it's not the fault of the songs that it ends off with. It's just that they put the best fucking song like 75% of the way through the album, and the remaining 25% can't possibly catch up to those highs.
Can't even support the rest of the album until they finish.
Yeah.
Oof.
But I'd still say even with that, everything on it is so fucking solid that I've got no choice but to put it into incredible. Because it really is. Even if you do got to be in the mood to listen to it.
It's true.
Evil Empire by Rage in Favor of the Machine. No, thank you. We know Bulls on Parade, that's about it. Science by Incubus. Not heard this album.
Nope.
I like Incubus, but Science is not the album I associate with them. Let's see here. Lost Forever and Lost Together by Architects, I want to say. You heard of that?
Nope.
Me neither. Dollar Dollar Bills, Y'all by Limp Bizkit. I have not heard this. I've heard it's one of the slightly better Limp Bizkit albums, though. Roots by Sepultura. I'm going to take that. Yep. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge by My Chemical Romance.
Don't know. I know the one album from them. You know which one.
We all know.
We all know which one.
Let's see here. Starts off with Helena. I'm Not Okay, I Promise. Ghost of You. Pretty solid album. Pretty solid song. Those are the only 3 I know. It's not bad, but it definitely does have that mid 2000s, ooh, I'm a scene kid, look at how tortured and deep I am kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna slag them off too bad. I just.
I mean, was it them chasing the trend, or did they make the damn trend to begin
Well,
with?
to be fair, it was released in 2004, the same fucking year as A Fever You Can't Sweat Out by Panic at the Disco and Infinity on High by Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, you can't. It's not really their fault.
No, it's
The
not.
scene formed around them.
Yeah. I mean, the few songs I have heard, I'd put it in okay, in all honesty. Uh, have any of us ever listened to Deftones? You listen to
A little bit.
Deftones?
Not a ton, though.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
wait. I listened to like 2 songs of them and was like, ah, this isn't for me.
Hellbilly Deluxe by Rob Zombie.
Nope.
I have tried to listen to this song front to back. So it starts off with with kind of a musical interlude, and literally first 3 songs after the interlude: Super Beast, Dragula, Living Dead Girl, all in a row.
Oh. Oh,
But
wait, no, I think I do know this album then, yeah.
yeah, great album opening, but really, other than maybe Meet the Creeper, none of the other songs can possibly compare to it. And don't get me wrong, they're awesome fucking songs, but it's about albums, not necessarily about particular songs. I think it blew its load way too early.
Absolutely.
So I'd probably just put it in okay, in all honesty. Immortalized by Disturbed.
Ooh. Oh, this. Okay, this is a weird album to put on the best ones ever. Man, I know The Sound of Silence, which is an absolutely god tier cover,
Well, there's also the Vengeful one.
and the Vengeful one, there it is. But like the rest of the album, I know it's good, but I feel there's a better Disturbed album you could pick.
So probably just put it in okay.
I can't rightfully say I've listened to the whole thing. It's a weird pick considering the rest of the Disturbed discography, you know?
Yeah. Significant Others by Limp Bizkit.
Oh.
I've tried to listen to the album. There are only 2 songs. One is Nookie, which is more of a guilty pleasure than anything. I'm not going to say it's a
Right.
good song. The other is Rearranged, which actually is surprisingly decent, all things considered. Bit slower, bit softer. Um, it's not nearly to the same level of garbage that say chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water or fucking results may vary is, but it's serviceable. It's fine.
It's fine.
Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park.
Oh my god, finally. Now, okay. Another nearly perfect album, I would say.
I would say it's pretty good.
It's pretty fucking good.
I don't know if I would say it's incredible though.
Really.
Because here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. Solid fucking tracks off of Hybrid Theory. In the end, obviously. Opens up strong with Paper Cut. Ends very strong with My December. Points of Authority is pretty solid. But some of the other songs I don't think are their strongest. One Step Closer is fine. I just think it kind of veers a bit too much into the kind of
The edge.
the edge.
The edge and the angst.
Crawling is kind of another one. I mean, it was a meme for the longest goddamn time before Chester's unfortunate passing.
Yeah.
Runaways there. That said, there are some other solid songs, obviously. Points of Authority is pretty good. Place for My Head is really fucking solid. By Myself is also a nice one. But yeah, I just think it's even though there are some solid classic tracks on there, I just think it just needs a
A little
little
bit
bit more,
extra oomph.
little extra oomph, little more polish, little softening of some of the rougher edges to it. So I'd say it's pretty
Okay.
good. I wouldn't say it's incredible.
Okay, interesting. I would say it's incredible. But you have heard the album much more than I have.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna put it in between 10 and Color of the Shape on the list. Um, I have no idea. Uh, Scream, Aim, Fire by Bullet for My Valentine.
Uh,
I have not listened to Bullet for My Valentine. I've always kind of associated them with insufferable emo music.
I mean, it's not incorrect. It's not exactly right, but it ain't incorrect. I have not heard this one. Of all the one Bullets of My Valentine albums I've heard, it ain't this one. If I have heard one.
The End of
I know
Heartbreak.
some of those songs.
Oh,
No, continue, sorry.
the End of Heartbreak by Killswitch Engage.
Yo.
Oh, you actually have heard this album.
I've heard, I just like Killswitch Engage. That's all. So what was it again?
The End of Heartbreak.
There we go. Killswitch Engage, The End of Heartache. There we go. Special edition. Yeah, I don't know this one.
Other than maybe My Curse.
Oh, of course I know My Curse, but
Can I just say, I.
it's not even on this album. That's the thing.
Oh, it's not?
It's not on this album. No,
Oh, okay.
that's the weirdest thing about this selection is that My Curse is off of a different album. My Curse is off of the better album, which is As Daylight Dies, which also has their cover of Holy Diver.
Their cover of Holy Diver is actually pretty solid. And can I just say,
Oh, it did a great job.
that I prefer the softer version used in Guitar Hero 3 in their music video of My Curse compared to the Screamo version from the album?
Oh, fair enough.
I don't know. I feel like it hits the lyrics and the tone that the song was going for better.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes you need the melody in order to actually do it well enough.
Oh yeah, Pushing Me Away was also off of Meteor. That's a solid song also. Okay, let's see here. La Sexorcisto Volume 1 by White Zombie.
I know two songs from White Zombie.
Well, the two songs off of this album that probably everybody knows is Black Sunshine and Thunder Kiss 65.
Well, actually, I do know one more White Zombie song.
More Human Than Human is off of the other album.
There we go.
That's off
But
of Master Creed.
I know three songs from that band.
Yeah,
General.
not enough to really judge them. Solid songs, sure, but not enough. All right, Dark Before Dawn by Breaking Benjamin.
Dark Before Dawn.
Yep. Let's see what's on here. Well, Angels Fall is and that's the only one I recognize.
Wow, this is an album cover I have not seen. That's not a good 2015.
That doesn't seem right.
That don't seem right. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it for me as well.
All right. Well, okay. Haven't listened to it.
Hail to the King by Avenged Sevenfold.
Okay, this one I can speak on because I have listened to this thing backwards and forward. I love Hail to the King. However, I don't think it's their strongest work. It is their attempt at creating, well, at least with some of their songs, something that's a lot more stadium and radio friendly. Which it fucking worked. Hail to the King is played in every sports stadium at some point. I heard it when the fucking Padres are playing. The San Diego goddamn Padres. So they clearly did their job, and a lot of the tracks touch on paying homage to a lot of the bands that gave them inspiration. But
Or just
because
straight
of
ripping
that,
them off. Hi, this is War.
hey now, we're not, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about how Shepherd of Fire is totally not a Metallica ripoff either. No, we're fine here. But in trying to pay homage to somebody else, they lose a little bit of themselves. And I love the songs on this album. I don't think it's their best work. And this is especially coming right after they lost the Rev.
Well, not only after they lost the Rev, but also after they just completed Nightmare as well.
Well, they completed Nightmare, and the Rev died at the very end of making Nightmare. So this is their first album wholly without him in the songwriting process, and unfortunately, it kind of shows. And obviously, there's really good songs in here. Shepherd of Fire, Hail to the King. I like Heretic off of there. Crimson Day is a very emotional song for me on that one.
So you'd say it's pretty good. You wouldn't call it incredible, though.
No, I wouldn't call it incredible. Not by a long shot, but it is a very good album. It's a pretty good album. It starts off obviously very strong. It only has 10 tracks, which honestly is the perfect length for this. Starts off very strong. Shepherd Fire, Hail to the King, Doing Time. This Means War. And then it starts to get a little bit more experimental, a little more lengthy, as you can literally see by the by the song lengths. But Coming Home, Planets, and Acid Rain is just a perfect walk home for this album that starts off as only homages and then kind of really comes back into being its own at the end. But I don't think it's their best work.
Fair enough. Back in Black by AC/DC.
There's the album.
Well, let's see what songs are off of there. Well, there's the title track, obviously.
Back to Black, Shoot to Thrill, Hell's Bell. Actually, no, it actually goes Hell's Bells, Shoot to Thrill. What do you do for money, honey? Giving the dog a bone. Let me put my love into you. Wow. Back in Black, Shook Me All Night Long, Have a Drink on Me, Shake a Leg, and Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution.
So I've only
Damn solid songs.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd say it's a classic.
It's a classic. It absolutely is. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
honestly, it has some weak spots. I obviously don't know a lot about the 3 songs between Shoot Thrill and Back in Black, but given that I know the majority of these songs, and having not listened to the album at all,
yeah, I'd say
that says something.
Yeah. Highway to Hell by AC/DC.
There we go.
I mean, there's the title track, obviously.
Their title track. Go to album. Highway to Hell. Girls Got Rhythm. Walk All Over You. Too Much. Beating Around the Bush. Shut Down the Flames. Get It Hot. If You Want Blood. You've Got It. Love Hungry Man and Night Prowler. Yeah, Hideaway to Hell is the kickoff to that album. and it just kind of.
Peters off from there.
Well, I don't know if it peters off because apparently, "If You Want Blood, You've Got It" is more popular than most of the songs on here.
Mm,
Most, obviously.
right.
Girls Got like Going Highway to Hell to Girls Got Rhythm. It's their strongest track. They're one of their best tracks overall into like a B tier song of theirs, and then the rest just being completely unknown to speak well for the album. It's okay.
Let's see here. Uh, Edema's self-titled album.
Uh,
Have you heard of? Yeah, that's what I figured. Uh, let me just get this title right so I don't come off like a complete idiot here. Facelift by Alice in Chains.
I don't know that one that well.
The only song really off of it that anyone knows is Man in the Box.
I love the Man in the Box.
It's a solid song, but I mean, you listen to Man in the Box on its own, and then you listen to anything off of Dirt. You can really tell that it's kind of rough around the edges. But I don't know enough about the rest of the album to really judge. So okay, the next one is Alice in Chains' self-titled album.
There we go. Let's see. They're self-titled. I don't know any of these.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, yeah.
All Hope Is Gone by Slipknot.
Yo, all right.
Starts off with Psychosocial.
I love All Hope Is Gone, but a lot of the Slipknot fans will say that Slipknot kind of fell off and started becoming more radio friendly once this album came out, which is not entirely incorrect. After Paul Gray's passing, the band kind of took a different turn.
Yeah. Not necessarily for the better, either.
No, but I do still particularly enjoy All Hope Is Gone. I don't think it's up there with Subliminal Verse. It's still very solid. It's got stuff like Psychosocial and Sulfur.
It's also got Snuff.
Snuff. Oh my god.
Thanks for that.
Dead Memories. So it's a lot of slower songs that they're not really known for having.
But they're not
They're good.
bad.
They're pretty fucking good, but you have a band that is known for Wait and Bleed and fucking People Equals Shit. And then you're going into Snuff. Like, I loved Vermilion. I love Snuff. I love Dead Memories, but this is a different turn for a band like them to take. When most of their album is comprised of those songs.
So
I would still say it's a pretty damn good album. Still Slipknot, still good quality.
no, I have to agree. And that's mainly also because Subliminal Verses was a really fucking strong album.
It's such a fucking strong album, and in any case, any band would struggle following up an album like Subliminal Verses.
All the Right Reasons by Nickelback.
I have listened to this one.
Same here. I don't like it very much.
All right, let's see. Man, that's embarrassing. I might need to look at this. There's a lot of green check marks on this list. Paul, you home? All right, I'm taking that one off immediately. That's not right. It's Nickelback. It is quintessential Nickelback. I can't say much more than that.
There's a lot of bad songs on there, though.
Oh, there's a lot of bad songs. Don't get me wrong, but it's still Nickelback, and somehow it still sounds good, and I don't know why.
Because it's polished to shit.
It is. It is. It's not U2, but it's still a turd that's been polished to hell and back. And damn, if that turd don't look good.
So what? Okay, leaning into terrible, or
I'd say it's squarely in okay. But
um,
damn, that given that I had to immediately remove one song knowing what it was about, that doesn't speak well. Like, okay, that's kind of weird. I'm taking that off. No,
Animosity by Seven Dust.
don't know it.
Alien Ant Farm's self-titled album. I mean,
Don't know it.
yeah, we only know the Smooth Criminal cover. I want to say Among the Living by Anthrax. I don't know how big of it.
Anthrax. Now that I have not listened to a lot to. I
Yeah,
want to listen to more Anthrax, but I just haven't.
yeah. Out of the big four of speed metal, Anthrax is kind of the kid that nobody remembers.
Unfortunately, because they're still part of the big four for a reason.
10,000 Fists by Disturbed.
That's a much better Disturbed pick than oh god, what was it?
Immortalized.
Than Immortalized.
I mean, it
Love
literally
Disturbed.
starts with the title track, which is pretty solid.
Really good title track, and it goes into a later Deify Stricken Land of Confusion, arguably a better version of the song than what Genesis put out.
Honestly, it took me a while, but yeah, I'm kind of starting to come around to it more than the Genesis version.
That's why I say arguably, because like that, when the band makes you really think of if it's better than the original, they've done their job.
Yeah. There's also Decadence, which is a pretty solid song. I like that song quite a
Oh, I
bit.
haven't heard that one. So I'd say it's pretty good.
Probably have a lot to say about this. Nightmare by Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh my god. Nightmare is a journey about grief and loss. And it didn't start out that way necessarily. There were still some songs about, those themes as it was dealing with addiction and, making your way through some of the harder times in life. But then the passing of the Rev really put some of these songs into perspective, starting off very aggressive with
The title
songs
track.
like God, well, I mean, Nightmare and God Hates Us. Or is it God? No, it's God Hates Us. Yeah. Yeah, Nightmare, Welcome to the Family, into Danger Line, coming a little bit more slowly with the
Buried Alive.
existentialism of Buried Alive, Natural Born Killer. And then you get into So Far Away, back into the violence with God Hates Us, and finishing out the album with Victim, Tonight the World Dies, Fiction, and Save Me. Oh my god. This song hits so much more differently when you listen to it on a drive home at like 2 a.m.
I have actually taken your advice and done that, and yeah, it does kind of hit a bit
It's
different.
especially towards the end where it's existential, pining for something that you haven't had or are longing for having once again. Looking for absolution, something to help you out of this hole that you've found yourself in for one reason or another. Grief, loss, dealing with crippling addiction, whatever it is. But all the anger turns into sorrow and not exactly helplessness, but you're just crying out, somebody save me.
guess the only complaint I would have, and maybe this is just personal preference more than anything, but I would have switched God Hates Us and So Far Away's position. Like after Natural Born Killer, then you move into God Hates Us, and then you move into
No,
So
yeah,
Far Away,
absolutely.
then Victim, and finish it out kind of like that.
I would have done that as well, and for that reason, it is not a perfect album, and still not their best work.
But it's I think we
It's
can
a
both agree it's
fucking damn
incredible.
good album. It's an incredible fucking album.
Now, the self-titled Avenged Sevenfold album.
Woo! There it is. This is where I think their best work is.
I would have to agree in all honesty.
It's them in rare form. 12 songs of unadulterated fucking creativity that just goes all over the goddamn board.
Yeah, you never really know what you're gonna get
There is not
hearing the
a
song.
single similar song across the entire album, and it's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. Well, I mean, it's not the. I wouldn't put it in the perfect album area, but it's the best Avenged album. It's the top of the incredible section for me so far.
So many good songs off of it as well.
God, just fucking critical acclaim, Almost Easy, Scream, Afterlife, Gunslinger, Unbound, Brompton Cocktail, Lost, Little Piece of Heaven, Dear God. I know every single one of those songs.
And that's the thing, none of them should really all fit together. You go
No,
from
they don't. There's no theme. There's no coherency. It's just raw creativity,
I mean you go
and
from
it just goes.
you go from Afterlife, which has kind of a softer edge admittedly, but it's still fairly heavy, to Gunslinger, which is way fucking different than anything they had done. And then
Yeah,
you
well,
go
let's
from
add some country guitars in here. Why not?
Lost being kind of a normal metal track to fucking Little Piece of Heaven that sounds like it came off of one of Danny Elfman's lost tracks from like Nightmare Before Christmas or something.
And then they're like, "Hey, that country guitar bit we did in Gunslinger, let's bring that to the forefront and just make a country song." Like, what are you doing?
But it all works! That's the
Why
fun
does it
thing!
work? Raw creativity, no notes. I don't know if it's perfect, but I think it's the closest we have on those. Is that and subliminal verses?
That's what we've got so far. The stage.
I've really grown to love the stage. It is a really good concept album that it's where they found their feet again after they lost the rev. They really found their creativity again and took the band in a more solid direction. Where Avenged, the self-titled album, as we just saw, was a raw, unbridled creativity. They since then have started taking more solid direction with each of their albums, what it means, what themes they want to center around, and what they centered around for this one is life being a simulation. The stage is a commentary about what reality as we know it is. And it's a really, really interesting album to listen to. It's just a goddamn shame they shadow dropped it out of nowhere, so nobody got any priming on it. They thought that would be successful. It's got some really weird songs on there. Let's see. Which one has the fucking trumpets? Oh, can you still hear me?
Yep,
Okay. My mic is stuck open. My mouse isn't responding.
that is weird.
I'll just wait until it does. All right. I think it's opening with the stage is it's arguably the strongest song off the album, and it's more classic Avenged Sevenfold than any other. Yep, there we go. Got it back. Is Paradigm the one with the fucking trumpets? No. No, Sunny Disposition. think so. Yep. If you listen to Sunny Disposition real quick and go to 122 on this song, they just have they have a brass section in the middle of the song. I don't know why. It works so well. But from front to back, it's a weird exploration of existence and what it means to, be. Focused on that with Fermi paradox and simulation. It all just kind of starts to run away from you a little bit as the album continues to go on until it hits the last two tracks of the album without the live versions, Wish You Were Here and God Only Knows, which are, I think Wish You Were Here is a really solid cover. God Only Knows is an okay cover. But overall, it starts off the strongest with the stage and kind of meanders downward as you start to lose the thread a little bit.
So you'd say it's
I'd
okay?
say it's a... Where exactly is Hail to the King?
Hail to the Kings is pretty good.
Thinking hard on this one. I think just for listenability, the Hail to the King is a better album. So yeah, I'd say it's still pretty good.
Kind of on the lower end of the spectrum.
On the lower end of the spectrum. It's bordering on it's okay, and that's unfortunate.
Now, Wish You Were Here. Are you talking the Pink Floyd version or the Incubus version?
It's their cover of with Pink Floyd.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, there's two rock songs that have both started with "Wish You Were Here." which one are they covering?
The more famous one. But that's a fair question. It is Avenged Sevenfold. You don't know what they're gonna do.
Waking the Fallen.
Ooh. This is digging back into their metalcore days. And depending on who you ask, this is probably one of their better, or if not one of their best albums. Because of, metalcore.
Right.
They like the metalcore. I think Waking the Fallen is where they really got their start, because we don't talk about the previous album.
We don't talk about Sounding the Seventh Trumpet?
No, not really. We shouldn't. So it's Waking the Fallen. No, it's a pretty good album. I don't know where it sits on that scale precisely, because I'm not a huge fan of the metalcore, personally. But I know it's good.
I'm going to put it above the stage, but right below 3 Days Grace's self-titled album.
That's a fair spot to put it.
Alright, moving on. Rounding out Avenged Sevenfold, City of Evil.
Oh, right. Keeping on the thread. Okay, awesome. City of Evil's fucking great.
It is. It's pretty solid.
It's pretty... I don't think I need to say much more. It's just a good fucking album.
I mean, I know some people view it as the best album that Avenged Sevenfold does. I still prefer the self-titled more, but based on the track list alone in City of Evil, if anyone said it's their best album, I would totally be on board with it.
I would put that at just about the same level as their self-titled, if not slightly lower, personally. Just because I feel like it isn't as polished and isn't as unbridled with their creativity as self-titled is.
It's not, but it does keep a little bit more of a consistent tone than the self-titled does.
Absolutely.
Alright, Away from the Sun by Three Doors Down. I've heard 2 songs off of it. They're both very good, but Three Doors Down is not necessarily an album band to me. It's more singles band. It's a very good singles band,
yeah.
But... So I'm just going to put it in Never Heard. Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Ooh. Ooh, yes. War Pigs, Paranoid, Planet Caravan, Iron Man, and that's kind of really all the ones on there. It's only an 8-track album, if you can believe it.
It's probably a solid 8 tracks, though.
And knowing the 3 songs on there, it's damn. Their listen counts on the rest of them probably tell you enough about
Yeah.
the album itself. Ugh. Given the 3 songs on there, and
I,
I,
I, I
you
put it in
know,
pretty good.
it's pretty fucking good. It has to be. It's Black Sabbath, and 3 of their most famous songs are on this album.
All right. The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
Ah, much better.
I have listened to this album front to back.
Oh, I need to look at the track list just to see. Oh yeah, I know 2 songs.
When I was.
Hi, young boy. All right, what's the other one?
Um, for you, it's probably going to be Teenagers.
Yep. Man, how did you get it?
I don't know, man. Just one of those things.
One of those things.
Um, so I have listened to the album front to back. Fairly strong album, all things considered. There are some songs that I liked beforehand that before listening to the album in full that I liked. Mama was the other big one. That's a pretty
Oh,
epic
that's
song
right,
in
Mama.
itself.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, I forgot it ends in blood. But just looking at this list, as far as what points out to me, Disenchanted and Famous Last Words are both two pretty solid songs to end off on. Cancer is a really, really good song, if very, very emotionally harrowing to listen to. Um, Everything else is pretty solid. It's just compared to some of the other songs, especially the title track, it all kind of gets lost. But I'd still say that as a front to back experience, it's worth listening to at least once. And it's still probably MCR's best album that they've ever made.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It is an incredible album.
And I am putting it in the incredible album category, just a bit on the lower end of things.
I would heartily agree. I would not say it's better than Avenged Sevenfold's title or self-titled.
All right, let's see here. Black Sabbath's self-titled album. There's only 5 tracks, and I don't recognize any of them.
Black Sabbath. Alright, is it? Let me go to that album. The Ultimate Collection. That doesn't help.
No, if you go to albums,
Alright,
it's
hold
literally the
on.
first one. At least as far as
Alright, let's see here. Black Sabbath, The Wizard. Yeah, I don't know. I
yeah,
don't
I
know
don't know.
anything other than that. I can't speak on this album.
I can't either. Blink 182's self-titled album.
There you go. Self-titled Feeling This, Obvious, I Miss You, Violence, Stockholm Syndrome Interlude, Stockholm Syndrome, Down, The Fallen Interlude, Go, Asenia, Always. Huh.
I only know I Miss You. That's the only one I recognize.
I know I Miss You and Down.
Hmm.
I would have thought this album would have had a little bit more going for it. But hey, here we are. I can't really comment then.
Yeah, same. The Book of Souls by Iron Maiden.
Oh. Glad we're getting into Maiden here, but Book of Souls is not the
Not one of their best.
best selection. Oh my god, I think this is the I'm not entirely certain, but I think my dad saw this tour and complained about them talking about how they're a living, breathing band when they played most of their latest album. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was that one. Yeah, unfortunately, since oh my god, how many albums do they have? Oh, these are live albums, that's why. Ever since Fear of the Dark, I think, they haven't had a ton of really strong stuff.
Hmm.
I do enjoy Senjutsu with well, the title track Senjutsu and the writing on the wall. The writing on the wall, it's really repetitive though. They can do better. But I think they really lost the thread after Fear of the Dark. So
So,
while I can't speak in on the Book of Souls, yeah, that's my take.
so probably just okay at best.
At best.
Sci-Fi Crimes by Chevelle.
Man, another Chevelle album?
There's one more Chevelle album that's oh, I forget what it was. It's the one that's got the red on it. Probably the
Okay.
only song either you or I know.
Yeah. Let
Wonder
me
What's
double check
Next. That's it.
Chevelle.
Yeah, that's it.
Send the Pain Below. I have heard that one. It's not off that album, mind you. It's just in general that I've heard from them.
Yeah.
All right, well, continuing on.
Continuing on. Coal Chamber.
By
Oh, here we go. One you might be more able to comment on, but I may not.
oh,
Let me just get the title right. Come Whatever May by Stone Sour.
ooh,
That is the one that has Through Glass on it, which is a
that's what I
very good
thought.
song.
Love that song. All right, 150. I don't know that one very much. Through Glass is one of my favorite songs of all time. But other than that, I don't actually know anything off of this album. So,
All right. Cowboys from Hell by Pantera.
goddamn. Goddamn.
You only know the title track and that's it.
No, I do know more than their title track. Let's see here. Cowboys from Hell and Cemetery Gates are the obvious ones here. I do know this is a really solid album for Pantera and really solidified them as a incredibly popular metal band. But I cannot speak well on the rest of the album because I only know the two songs, which rightfully are great. I don't think it's vulgar display of power, but it really put them on the map.
So probably just put it in Never Hurt to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
All right, another Architects album. What's the title of this one? Have you listened to the Architects?
Nope.
Same. All right, Asylum by Disturbed.
Hmm. I like the title track for sure.
I think Another Way to Die is on there, isn't it?
Another Way to Die is on there, and The Animal. And that's all I know. I think. No, I had The Lost Children, which is a weird but fun album. But no, I haven't listened to Asylum front to back.
Believe by Disturbed.
I have listened to more of this album. I think
And,
I've listened to it.
and
Prayer, Liberate, Awaken, Believe, Breathe, Sound, Devour, Darkness. It's an okay album. There's a lot of mid-grade tracks on here, all put into one album, which has an overwhelmingly this is pretty good written all over it. Or this is pretty okay, just written all over it. That's about it.
Divisive by Disturbed.
Device? Is that what the album name is? Oh, that's their latest one.
Haven't listened to
Well,
it.
not their latest one. No, 2023. Jesus, really? No.
Alright, let's see here. Elephant by the White Stripes.
That's a weird album choice there. I haven't heard it.
Other than Save It Nation Army, I haven't heard it either.
Oh, that's what that album. Wait, I thought that was their self-title.
Nope. It literally starts with Seven Nation Army. That's the opening track off of it.
Huh. Let's hear. Okay, yeah. I have not listened to it.
Alright. Fallen by Evanescence.
Oh,
I have heard this album nearly front to back.
ooh. There we go. All right, Fallen, Going Under, Bring Me to Life, Everybody's Full, My Immortal. Wow, that's one hell of an opener.
Yeah.
Leading into not as much.
Yeah, I think after Haunted and Tourniquet, it really doesn't finish out strong as it starts.
And I have seen Evanescence live twice now, actually.
Mm.
And unfortunately, I think a lot of their music has the same problem, where it's, wow, this is really good, and then it begins to sound the same halfway through the set.
Yeah. I mean, it's still their best album by far.
Absolutely incredibly talented. Love their songs. However, they're a band that knows what their sound is, for better or worse.
So, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Alright, moving on. Is that what I think it is?
Also, if you haven't moved that Nickelback for what was it? All the Right Reasons. Yeah,
Yeah.
make sure it's at the bottom if it's okay.
Oh, don't worry, it is.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that that particular matter was settled.
Okay, this is a bit of a weird choice. From Under the Cork Tree by Fall Out Boy.
Why that one?
Infinity on High, Filet au Deux.
Well, it's all right. You know what? This list has gone through a few albums from a lot of different artists. So you know what? Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say, why is this on the list? There's other good ones on this list. There has to be, because you know there's better ones.
Hopefully there is. I mean, there's only 2 songs from this one I recognize. Sugar We're Going Down and Dance Dance.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
It's a good album.
I'm sure it is a good album.
It's a good album with two really good songs. But when you have let's see here, a song called "I Slept with Someone in Fall Out Boy and all I got was a stupid song written about me." Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all we need to say.
Yeah.
Oh, get busy living or get busy dying. Do your part to save the scene and stop going to show. That's a title.
Yeah, what was it with seed bands and fucking having song titles that sounded like the modern isekai trash novels that are inflicted on us today?
I don't know. Not listened. Why is it here? I mean, I know why it's here, but why is it here? I wouldn't say it's a quintessential Fall Out Boy listening experience, except for 2 songs.
Have you listened to Fear Factory?
The band?
Yes.
No.
That's what I figured. Them versus You versus Me by Finger 11.
Oh, is that the one with the Paralyzer?
Paralyzer, yes. I know the one song off that album. I don't know the rest of the album.
Let's see here.
To be fair, that song was fucking everywhere in 2007. You could fucking hit a rock and listen to and end up listening to
You
Paralyzer.
could trip over a rock, look under that rock, and there's Paralyzer.
Even in your dreams, when you were trying to go to sleep and dreaming of something else, inevitably, well, I'm not paralyzed, but I
Good song.
Good song. It
Don't
just
know
got overplayed
the rest of the
shit.
album.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this is one I vehemently disagree with.
Again, we've already questioned half of this list being here.
Wrong Side of Heaven and Righteous Side of Hell, Volume 1 by Five Finger Death Punch.
That actually is a pretty good one.
Come on, are
I
you
think
really...
there's a better Five Finger album out there to select off
American
of.
Capitalist, Way of the Fist, War is the Answer. Those I could understand.
However, I Raise You, Lift Me Up as a singular song.
Lift Me Up is pretty awesome, but Rob Halford...
Pretty fucking awesome.
But that's cheating, because Rob Halford can make anything awesome by his presence alone.
It's true. It is true. Yeah, other than fucking Lift Me Up, there's way better selections from Five Finger on here. Love. Oh, and Wrong Side of Heaven, obviously.
Yeah.
Good song.
It is.
I don't think those two justify the entire album.
No, they don't. It's like the load and reload thing. You didn't need to split it up into 2 albums. You could have just taken the best from one and put it into a singular album.
I will still take the L on Load and Reload and say they deserve to be different albums, and that is the hill I will die upon and say, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Let's see here. The Foo Fighters self-titled album.
Ooh, yes, very good. Dave Grohl's first real foray into songwriting on his own. And damn if he didn't do a fucking good job of it starting off. This is a call into I'll Stick Around, Big Me, Alone and Easy Target, Good Grief. Starts to lose it a little bit through the middle with Floaty, Weenie Beanie, Oh George. I love For All the Cows, but it kind of starts to lose its steam at the end and ends with Exhausted, which is still a fantastic song. So for Dave Grohl's first outing into songwriting on his own, mind you, he was in fucking Nirvana.
Yes.
But in case anybody was forgetting this. But it's just, man, that's a really strong first album.
So you'd say it's pretty good?
I'd say it's pretty good.
Wasting Light by Foo Fighters.
Ah, here we go. A Wasting Light. Ooh, I gotta scroll up a bit. I love Wasting Light. It it feels like after when you go through all of these albums, there's always like some chaff you could pick out, right?
Right.
Foo Fighters has it, Color and the Shape has it. There's Nothing Left to Lose has it. A little bit less to a bit lesser degree. One by one, and as you're going along, these get stronger and stronger. In Your Honor has a few misses though. I love Echo, Silence, and Patience and Grace, but when you get to Wasting Light, when they came back around in 2011, I feel like they really hit their stride again. Really came back into the scene with a really
Oh, still there? Jack?
hello.
Yeah, you cut out for a bit.
Oh, okay. What was the last thing you heard?
I don't remember.
Well, point is, it goes Bridge Burning, a fantastic opener to the album. Rope, which is infectious. Dear Rosemary, a little bit slower. White Lomo, the hardest song off of the whole album. That sounds like Dave Grohl really took a lot of inspiration from working with Queens of the Stone Age. Arlandria, These Days, back and forth is not as strong. Neither is Matter of Time, but goes into I Should Have Known and then Walk to finish out the album. One of my favorite Foo Fighters songs in general. So for them to kind of, it feels like they took a lot of what they learned and had been working on the last few years and kind of stuffed it all into one album, and it shows. It is fantastic.
So you'd say it's an incredible album then?
I'd say it's an incredible album. I do think I like Medicine at Midnight better, but I think no, yeah, this one is still one of the better Foo Fighters albums.
All right. Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Alright. It starts off Invaders, Children of the Damned, The Prisoner, 22 Acacia Avenue, nothing special. Then Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills, Gaga Land, don't know that one very well. Hallowed Be Thy Name. So if you look at the listen count, it's not very well known, kind of well known, not very well known, not very well known. Number of the Beast, Run to the Hills, Hallowed Be Thy Name. Goddamn, it's a pretty alright album. I'd say it's pretty good. It's better than okay, just because of those three songs and knowing how the album's put together.
Right.
It's not their best work by far, so I think it could easily afford to be on the lower end of. It's good.
All right. Use Your Illusion Volume 1 by Guns N' Roses.
Ooh. Oh, Live and Let Die. November Rain. Those are the two I recognize.
In the cold November rain.
Oh god.
Trying to figure out which title this is, or which album this is. Godsmack's self-titled album.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's the one that's got fucking voodoo on it.
I love voodoo. I'm
I
sorry.
I can't stand it. I listened to it so goddamn much when I was working at one of my old jobs because that's one of the things that one of the Sirius XM stations would always fucking plays voodoo, and I just got so sick
Oh.
of it. So every time I hear
Well,
"I'm not the one who's
when
so
you're so
far
far
away,"
away, I feel the neck. And yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's the only song I know off of that album, so that doesn't speak very well for it.
"Awake" by Godsmack.
Ah, there we go. Godsmack. There we go. Go to album. Let's see. Sick of Life, Awake. Ooh, dang! I didn't expect this album to not hit as hard as the other ones. Can't say I've listened to it.
192000 by Gorillaz.
Yo. All right, let me remind myself how much I've listened to this. And this, I think this is their first album.
This is their first album.
So I haven't listened to Rehash or 5x4. Tomorrow Comes Today. I have Clint Eastwood, Rock of the House, 2000. Clint Eastwood. I think I've heard enough of this album to get a good vibe off of the Gorillaz' first foray, and they really made a splash with this one. Kind of rough. Damon Albarn's first going off the cuff a little bit.
Right.
And it really shows it's got a little bit of grunginess to it. Even if you look at some of the videos for some of the old Gorillaz stuff, like Tomorrow
Oh
Comes
yeah.
Today.
Oh yeah, I've seen the
You,
video for Clint Eastwood. Even then, you could tell the animation quality is a lot more roughshod than it was later on.
but that all fed into it. It was the character design. It was the animation. It's not like it was bad.
No.
Not by far, but it was almost intentionally done that way. And you can tell it was grungy, dark, and a little bit lopsided. And that's what 2000 is, but it has a special kind of shine that you can't really deny. So I'd say it's a pretty good album.
Moving on to Demon Days.
The step up from there. So if you actually look through the discography from Gorillaz, you have the G sides. Then you got Like a Come Home, which what even is this? You got a little single, and then you have Demon Day. So it's like he finally put in the work to create something that really popped, and it really did take a lot of the pop scene by storm. Stuff like Dirty Harry, Feel Good Inc., La Mañana, Dare, Demon Days itself. I'd say it's a better album than 2000 for sure.
But still only in pretty good tier, right?
I'm debating that. What would you think? Have you listened to the whole thing?
I've listened to a few songs about it. It definitely has its own sense of... It definitely has its own style. You're not going to mistake it for anything else. Most of the songs are pretty big earworms, all things considered.
Feel Good Inc. is
Yeah.
Feel Good Inc. I want to say it's bordering on incredible, but it isn't strong enough for that.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in the high end of pretty good then.
It's pretty freaking high end, especially with how many of the D sides are in there.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
American Idiot by Green Day.
Yay! I love American Idiot.
I like maybe half of it.
They turned it into a musical for a reason. It's an entire concept album based on criticism and
So,
analyzing.
It's an entire concept album that was made for a specific time and place and has aged like milk as a result.
It's true. But given that I have, let's see here, American Idiot, Jesus of Suburbia, Holiday, We Are the Waiting, Give Me Novocaine, and Wake Me Up When September Ends, all on my Spotify playlist save. All right, so it goes American Idiot, really strong album starter.
Hate it.
Jesus of Suburbia, which is a 9-minute song. I like it, but that's a 9-minute song. Holiday Boulevard of Broken Dreams. It should have been 2 songs.
It
What
should have
are
been
you
two
doing here?
songs, honestly.
It should have been 2 songs. They carry such wildly different tones to
They
them. They
don't fit
should be.
together.
They don't. And the lead in to from Holiday to Boulevard of Broken Dreams is great.
Take,
It's incredible.
but it
But
goes on for too long.
it should be a different song.
Yeah.
I like We Are the Waiting. Give Me Novocaine into She's Rebel. Does fit. I like that transition of the somebody wanting to be drugged out, just kind of mellow, ignoring life, into somebody finding somebody who kind of makes them wake up with She's a Rebel. It fits really well, honestly. It's only 5 minutes, so thankfully it doesn't go on too long, like Holiday and Boulevard of the Broken Dreams. And the tonal clash isn't as hard. But it feels like somebody kind of woke up and actually got into life again. Kind of fell off with Extraordinary Girl, Wake Me Up When September Ends, with Homecoming, and then good old what's her name? So of course, all about America, suburbia, mid 2000s. Man, that was a time. I'd say it's a pretty good album.
I'm gonna put it a bit towards the lower end of things.
Nudge it up a couple spots, just for me.
I mean, it's behind Waking the Fallen, but above the Foo Fighters' self-titled album.
Ooh, actually, when you put it like that, Foo Fighters self-titled is, I think, it's still better than American Idiot. I'm not gonna lie.
Alright, so I'll put it at the first of the bottom row.
I want to go over the order of some of these things after I've kind of talked about them and be like, oh, wait a minute, that should be lower.
Alright, next up, Dookie by Green Day.
Ooh,
I think this album
This-
is pretty solid. I still think this is their best album by far.
you wouldn't be remiss in thinking that. That's your Burnout, Having a Blast, Chump. I don't know any of those. Longview, fantastic. Welcome to Paradise, Pulling Teeth, Basket Case, She, Sassafras Roots, When I Come Around. Have you listened to the whole album?
I've now listened to the whole album. I think starting from Longview and then going down, I've heard the majority of tracks from there. But not the entire thing front to back.
It's their first. Is it their first album?
It's their
No, it
very
can't be
first
their-
album, yeah.
God damn, that's
1994, I want to say, is when it came out.
a great first album. Oh my god,
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
full of attitude and punk. I love it. I'd say it's easily better than American Idiot. Yeah,
I wouldn't put in an incredible album, but I'd say it's pretty high up in the pretty good tier list.
absolutely.
All right, Warning by Green Day.
Ooh,
I think that reaction says it all.
let's see. I love Warning as a song, actually. By the way, warning, live without warning. I know 2 songs off of this, and that is Warning and Minority. That's it.
And finally, Insomnia. I know one song off of this, and that's probably going to be the only song I know off of this.
Insomnia.
Insomnia by Green Day.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
I guess this one is a contender, I guess, for some of the best albums, but like, uh,
I mean, there's Brain Stew, which is solid,
Brain,
but not one of their
Brain
best.
Stew. I like Brain Stew and Jaded, but yeah, I can't comment on it too much. I haven't listened, but it's not great.
Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses.
Ah, there we go. That's an album I know a bit more. All right. Welcome to the Jungle. It's so easy. Night Rain. Mr. Brownstone, Paradise City, My Chevelle, Sweet Child of Mine, Rocket Queen. Okay, I do know most of these songs. Now, when did that come out?
87.
87, and then their other stuff came after.
Yeah, so this was their first album.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's an incredible first album. I thought they would have been more established before that. Wow, holy crap. Opening up with fucking Welcome to the Jungle on your first album? Jesus. Bravo, Guns N' Roses. Wow. You know what? That's an incredible album.
All right. Next up, Hypnotized by System of a Down.
Ah, getting closer.
I have listened to this entire album front to back.
Ooh,
once or twice.
Nice, okay.
It is a solid album. It has some very solid songs on said album. It's
Okay.
Oh, let's see here.
A solid album.
Well, no, let's see here. Attack. Okay, pretty solid start. Dreaming. Don't really know that. Really remember it. Kill Rock and Roll. It's all right. Hypnotize. Solid. Stealing Society after that. Tentative. Eufig. Holy Mountains. I think I need to listen to Holy Mountains a bit more. That's a pretty harrowing song. Considering what it's about, though, that's no surprise.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
Vicinity of Obscenity. yeah, go from harrowing, soft, melodic song referencing the Armenian genocide to terracotta pie.
I mean, is there anything more System of a Down than that?
No, there really isn't. She's like heroin, and then it closes off with Lonely Day and Soldier Side both after for a depressing 1-2 punch.
Damn, what the fuck?
So here's the thing. There's some solid tracks on it. But, considering this came after Mesmerize, it is not nearly as strong both musically, just on its own, or as a cohesive experience like Mesmerize was. It is still a very solid album, though, but a little bit of gas was running out. So, I'm putting it in pretty good and kind of around the middle for now. So, but yeah, that's about it. Next up is... what's the title of this again? Make Yourself by Incubus.
I don't know this one.
I know 3 songs off of it. Pardon Me, Drive.
Oh, I didn't know that one. Yep.
And Stellar. And they're all pretty solid fucking songs. I like Incubus quite a bit. I wish I should probably listen to more of them at some point, because they are pretty good. Based on those 3 songs alone, I'd say this album isn't pretty good. But I'm just going to put it in the lower end of pretty good just because I don't know what the rest of the album sounds like. But if it sounds anything like those three, it's probably a pretty good album.
All right.
In Utero by Nirvana.
Ooh.
I've only listened to a few songs off of In Utero. I cannot stand them. I know you have a far more positive opinion of it than I do.
Well, let's see here. We start off with Serve the Servants, Scentless Apprentice. Nobody knows those songs. Heart-Shaped Box, Rape Me, and Dumb are the big ones off of this. Oh, and All Apologies at the end. Nice. But it seems like it's a lot of... It loses a little bit of something somewhere in the middle. Some good albums, or good songs off of that, but nothing nearly as good as Nevermind. I'd say it's a pretty good album. Lower end, though. You know what? That's a little strong. It's okay.
Okay, Iron Maiden's self-titled album.
Ooh, that's a really interesting. Let's see. So I don't know if you knew this, but they had a different singer before. Uh, I almost said Bruce Springsteen. What the fuck?
What's his name? Bruce.
Dickinson.
Bruce Dickinson. Okay.
This is that album with that man. It sounds way different, and their first album is very experimental, and I only know it exists, all of this stuff, because Ghost made a cover of Phantom of the Opera, which is on this album. I know nothing else about this album. But given how different it was, well, I mean, Iron Maiden was always prog rock and experimental. But given their weird starts, I would say it's okay.
Screaming for Vengeance by Judas Priest.
Ooh, you might have a better track on this one.
I have not listened to much of Screaming for Vengeance. I've listened to Electric Eye. I think I did try to listen to this album front to back once, but never got through it. Here we go, Screaming for Vengeance. The Hellion, Electric Eye, Riding on the Wind, Take These Chains, title track Fever. Short album, but not really gone through it front to back, so I can't really give that fair of an assessment. Okay, Korn's self-titled album.
Ooh, that's a bit of a different story. That's some good work.
It starts off with Blind, which is a pretty damn good way to start off your first album.
Blind. Bull tongue, need to, clown, divine, forget, shoots and ladders, predictable, fake, lies, helmet in the rush, the bush, daddy. I haven't listened to all of it, unfortunately.
Take a Look in the Mirror by Korn.
Alright, let's see here. Take a look in the mirror. Take a look in the mirror. Ah, there we go. Alright. Right now. Did my time. Y'all will in a single say fuck that. Think of the albums I know. Obviously, I think this one has a few more hits on it than the other one. Not as big hits, I don't think. Can I even speak on this right now? Did my time. I want to see. I don't feel like I know this album well enough to speak on it. Speak on Korn's brand of new metal.
I And then the last one is Follow the Leader from Korn. Not the last album we're going to cover, but the last Korn album, I think. Yeah, Follow the
Ooh,
Leader.
really? Follow the leader.
That's the one that has Freak on a Leash
Freaking
on it.
unleashed. Got the life. Damn. I wish I'd listened to more Korn so I could actually give a commentary on Follow the Leader versus Look in the Mirror. Because there's some good commentary to be had, and self-titled is really interesting in and of itself, but I unfortunately can't.
Okay, have you listened to much Lamb of God?
No.
Alright, neither have I. I like the instrumentality of Lamb of God, I just can't stand the singer. Because I can't understand a
I
damn thing he's saying.
I'll have to let given my new appreciation for metal like that, I'll have to see if my opinion on Lamb of God has changed, but probably not.
Results may vary by Limp Bizkit.
Oh.
I'm putting it in dog crap because this is the album that has that awful cover of The Who's Behind Blue Eyes on it. And
Ooh.
just for that alone, it goes in the
Fuck
bottom.
you. Fuck you.
Chocolate starfish in the hot dog flavored water.
Are we really putting this on the list of best albums of all
I
time?
don't agree with it at all. Rollin' is a guilty pleasure at best. So is My Way. That's about it. Here we go. Let's wash the awful taste out of our mouths. Meteora by Linkin Park.
There we go.
All right, full disclosure, I've listened to this album front to back numerous times. And I personally think it is a perfect album.
Woo! There we go. That's what I was expecting.
Like, it starts off strong with the musical interlude and then goes straight into Don't Stay, which is a banger of an album opener. And then it moves on from that to Somewhere I Belong. And then it moves on from Somewhere I Belong to... I know I've got the album somewhere. To Line From You. Then To Hit the Floor, then Easier to Run, then Faint, Figure .09, Breaking the Habit, From the Inside, Nobody's... Well, like, none of these songs are skips for me. Every single one of these songs is solid. Every single one of them, even if they seem lyrically dissonant with each other, all works in the flow of the album. It's like they took everything good about Hybrid Theory and just refined it that much better to create what is, in my opinion, the definitive Linkin Park album. Like, they've never made an album better than Meteora, in my opinion. Never. And there's not one bad song or one bad track I could say, yeah, it doesn't work. No, it all works. So yeah, I'd honestly say it's perfect down to the last detail.
Damn. Okay. High praise.
I mean, you're looking at the title track right now. You can just see the songs on there.
Oh yeah. I'll have to review some of my picks then. Meteora absolutely is a contender, but if Meteora is a contender, I'd argue that self-titled from Avenged Sevenfold is also a contender.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we...
Well, we'll get there when we get there.
Okay, Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden.
Oof. Okay, hold on. There we go. War Eagles Dare, Revelations, Flight of the Icarus, Die with Your Boots On, The Trooper, Still Life, Quest for Fire, Sun and Steel, To Tame a Land. This is much stronger of an album than some of the other ones that we've seen. Let's see here. This comes after a number of the beasts, and I think it comes together and is a little more refined, though not as many hits. Well, except for The Trooper.
So would you say it's a pretty good album?
I'd say it's a pretty good album. I don't know where it can... I'll have to think about it. for how it compares to the number of the beast.
All right, moving on. Hollywood by Marilyn Manson.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I appreciate Manson for his technicality and his boldness.
He
That's about as far as that goes.
he really is edgelord personified.
I respect it. I do. And he's talented. But when you see him perform on stage, it's just the amount of swagger. It's like, oh my god, dude, get over yourself. But he does it for the image, and he's still very talented. He's still performing, by the way, and he still sounds great. All right, Hollywood. Oh man, let's see if I know any of this. No, that's it.
All right, Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I I don't think there's a better contender for a perfect album than
Master of
Master of
Puppets.
Puppet. Because holy shit, this album is insane. It's insane. You start out with Battery, go into Master of Puppets, The Thing That Should Not Be, Welcome Home, Sanitarium, Disposable Heroes, Leper Messiah, Orion, Damage Incorporated. There's not a single weak song in here. It's 8 tracks. That's it.
So you'd say it's a perfect album.
Oh god damn! If there is anything from the from the metal kings of the 80s and 90s, their best album is Master of Puppets, hands down. If that album is not one of the perfect albums, then nothing of theirs is.
Okay. All right. Master of Reality by Black Sabbath.
That's a great question. I don't know.
Let's move on to the next album, which, like I said, is Master of Reality by Black Sabbath.
No, did you not hear me?
No.
Hello?
Well, I didn't hear what you were saying before.
Oh, I was saying, great question. Let's move on.
Yeah, I did hear that.
No, great question to Master of Reality. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth.
Ooh. All right, hold on. Now I have to see the album in its entirety. Skin of My Teeth, Symphony of Destruction, uh, Sweating Bullets, This Was My Life, Countdown to Extinction, High Speed Dirt, Psychotron, Captive Honor. I haven't listened to the whole thing front to back. There were some good songs off here. Obviously, the title track being one of the most iconic Megadeth songs that they have. But I don't know. I can't comment on it. I haven't heard it. No, it's not their best.
Rust in Peace by Megadeth.
Ah, there we go. No, now we're getting a little bit closer, I think. God, I have to scroll through the phone. Just fucking... I hate having to scroll through all of their albums. Ugh. There's probably an easy way I could do this, but I'm too lazy to figure it out. Rust in Peace. Okay, I have heard this front to back at request from my brother. And I'm so glad I did it. Holy Wars into Hangar 18 is incredible. Take No Prisoners, I didn't really listen to. Five Magics was pretty freaking awesome. Tornado of Souls is later in the album track. and it's really good. I'd say this is a pretty good album.
Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Okay.
Yes.
I should have known. The world is a vampire.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just Nicolas Cage.
That's kind of really the only one, except for Tonight, that I know. So I can't say anything about that one.
I know Zero a little bit, but again, I don't know the rest of the album to comment on it, honestly. Load by Metallica.
Load. Okay, I don't remember if Load or Reload was the weaker of the Load Reload pair.
I don't know which load is firing blanks.
Oh my god. All right, let's see. Ain't My Bitch, 2x4, House That Jack Built, Until It Sleeps, King Nothing, Hero of the Day, Bleeding Me, okay. Cure, Poor Twisted Me, Mama Said, Ronnie, Outlaw Torn. Again, this is a weird like B-sides to Metallica. After they quote unquote sold out. Which, debatable. They probably did. But did they? Who knows? Um, oh. King Nothing and Hero of the Day and Until It Sleeps really sell it for me. Unforgiven 2 on Reload along with Fuel make it a really tough contender. So you know what? We keep going on and on if it should be the same album as Load. Put it right above Reload. Don't put anything in between it ever.
Okay. Trying to figure out where. Ah, there it is. Alright, And Justice for All by Metallica.
Ooh, damn good album. Injustice for All. I'd say it's like very similar ranking to Kill 'Em All
Okay.
because it has some really good tracks, but it's like it's the flip side of Metallica um where Master of Puppets is smack in the middle of the two of them. Actually, let me double check my timelines here. So it was I know it was Kill 'Em All, then it was Ride the Lightning,
Then
and
Master
then
of
it was the
Puppets.
Black then it was Master of Puppets, then the
Then
Black
Injustice.
Album,
No, then Injustice for All,
then
then the
Injustice
Black
for All.
Album.
Okay, right. So this is still pre-Black Album era. This is starting to turn more towards their commercial success of the Black Album.
Yep.
So you take what they had in Kill 'Em All and Thrash, and you turn it over the other side of Master of Puppets towards their commercial success. You get the other side of them, learning and growing as musicians. And I think the Black Album is kind of the height of them, learning to be actual musicians instead of a metal band. They're still a metal band. Goddamn if Master of Puppets isn't the perfect album, but it's like they grew more into more structured songs. And I think one really highlights that. So I think I would say that And Justice for All is the flip side to Kill 'Em All. So put them pretty close to each other, I'd say.
Alright, and then finally the Black Album.
Black Album. We could talk for ages about this, but
We
there
could.
are some fucking good songs on here.
Starts off pretty strong.
Starts off incredible. Enter Sandman, Sad But True, Holier Than Thou, Unforgiven, nice little break here, a little more somber. Wherever I May Roam, Don't Tread on Me, Through the Never, Nothing Else Matters, and then starting to get a little losing some steam here with Of Wolf and Man, The God That Failed, My Friend of Misery, and The Struggle Within. Starting to bleed into Load a little bit there at the end.
So where would we
Oh,
put the Black Album?
that's a really fucking good question. Because by definition, this is their most popular album, and for good reason. There's some really good songs here, and it starts off incredibly strong with some of their best work, honestly. Like the riffs on Sad But True and Holier Than Thou hit like a truck, and Enter Sandman is just an incredible song. I think it's better than Injustice for All. Obviously, not as. I don't think it's a perfect album. I think Master of Puppets was their perfect album. I'd put it higher than Kill 'Em All because they've grown as a band since then. So I think it's in order: Master of Puppets, self-titled Black Album, then Kill 'Em All and
Injustice for All.
Injustice for All, and then Load is somewhere below those two.
By the way, Ride the Lightning is not on this list.
What?
I know.
That's a crime. That
is
is
a
an
crime.
actual crime. What the fuck?
It is an actual crime.
That is okay. Fight fire with fire. Ride the lightning. For whom the bell tolls. Fade to black. Trapped under ice. Escape. I don't know that one. Creeping death. Call of Cthulhu. Like, what do you mean it's not on this list?
It's not on this fucking list. This idiot.
And
Completely forgot
Chevelle's
it.
on here.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
oh
Nobody
my
said
god.
that the people at tier. Nobody said the guys who made this tier list were smart or had good taste.
God, I'm now I'm fully on the what the fuck are these guys thinking train.
Well, moving on. Mesmerized by System of a Down.
What do you mean?
I know. I know.
Load of reloads on there. I'm sorry. I need a moment to get over this. Okay. I think I'm all right. I'm moving past. He put load and reload in there, but not Ride the Lightning. But that's okay. That's fine.
I could just hear in your head that the music that plays when Gandalf was falling down into Helm's Deep is playing in your head. Alright, moving on. Mesmerized by System of a Down.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Have you listened to this one?
I've listened to this front to back a couple times. I have almost the entire album saved on my Spotify.
Nice. For
Deal.
good reason.
For very good reason. Okay, it's typical System of a Down. Not everything flows together perfectly. But I honestly do think that most of their strongest output is in here. BYOB is what it starts off with. Great fucking album opener, BYOB. For good reason.
Oh yeah.
Then it moves on to Revenja. Pretty solid. And then we move on from Revenja to Cigarro. Again.
Cigarro.
Keep
My
it.
cock is much bigger than yours.
My cock can walk right through the door!
God.
And then you go from that to Radio Video, which is actually a fairly solid song. Has a great build-up before the final breakdown. Then This Cocaine Makes Me Feel Like I'm on a Song.
God damn it.
Nothing clever about that. Then it moves from that to Violent Pornography.
It's a violent pornography.
Choking chicks and sodomy.
That kind of shit you get on your TV.
And then it moves from there to Question. And then from Question to Sad Statue. And Sad Statue is kind of the only weak link of the album, in my opinion. It's not a bad song by any means. I just don't think it's that great. And then you go from that to Old School Hollywood, which is pretty goofy. And then it leaves off with Lost in Hollywood, which is a pretty depressing song to end off on, and all things considered.
God, it is. I mean, it's System of a Down. I'm glad they did it. They're always about sending a message, and damn if that doesn't send one.
But I honestly do think this is their best album by far. I think they hit their stride. I know people will say that Toxicity is better, and I'm not going to say that the people who think that are wrong. But me personally speaking, if it's between Toxicity and Mesmerize, I think Mesmerize is the stronger overall experience. It is
Oh.
a very incredible album. It's just, if Sad Statue were a bit stronger, I would say it's perfect. But, it's pretty damn close to perfect. So, there you go. And next up, Minutes to Midnight by Linkin Park.
Hmm.
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 Okay, this is not Minutes to Midnight is not by any means a bad Linkin Park album.
Oh no.
It's not. I still think this is the last truly solid, continuous Linkin Park experience before A Thousand Suns came out and they kind of stopped, and then Chester has unfortunate passing, and that was the end of Linkin Park. That is the end of Linkin Park.
We don't talk about what happened in Linkin Park after.
We don't talk about that. But, Minutes to Midnight starts off. I'm not going to say that Given Up is the strongest album opener, especially compared to Paper Cut or Don't Stay. But it could get the blood pumping. But then it goes from Given Up to Leave Out All the Rest. Now, I think Leave Out All the Rest is a very good song. It is probably the closest, it's probably the lasting legacy I feel that Chester would have been proud of. What better message to leave than a song whose chorus goes, "When my time comes, forget the wrong that I've done, help me leave behind some reasons to be missed."
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful. And then it transitions from that to Bleed It Out. Now, the interlude transition between the songs actually fits perfectly. But you go from that song to Bleed It Out. You can kind of see where the progression's starting to get a bit screwy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And then you go from Bleed It Out to Shadow of the Day. Again,
An odd choice.
an odd choice. Then it goes from Shadow of the Day to What I've Done. That works. What I've Done to Hands Held High. That works. Hands Held High to No More Sorrow. Bit odd. No More Sorrow to Valentine's Day. What are you guys doing? None of these songs are bad on their own. They're all very good songs. But the way that the album progresses between most of them, it does not flow nearly as well as it did in Meteora. It didn't even really flow as well as it did in Hybrid Theory, in all honesty. And honestly, In Pieces should have been the song to close the album on instead of The Little Things Give You Away. I think that would have been a far better album closer. But, again, still a solid album, all things considered. But, being better than Meteora was always going to be impossible. Matching up to Meteora was a hard task in and of itself. And
They did neither.
they did neither. The bones are there, the songs are there, but you look at it, you listen to it front to back, and it's like, yeah, it's not really coming together as a whole. It's more coming together as the sum of its parts. So it's pretty good. But that's all I can really put it in, is pretty good. If the progression was better, I would put it as an incredible album. But it is what it is. So, anything to add to it, or?
No, you're spot on, I think.
All right.
Especially considering I haven't listened to the entire album like you have.
All right. Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue.
Oh, okay. Motley Crue. Motley Crue. Man, you want a band that's aged like milk?
I mean, it's the 80s. It's aged milk, but it's at least still drinkable.
Oh no, you have not seen them perform live. Recently, that is. It's kind of gross, actually.
Look, I've seen pictures of what Vince Neil looks like. Nobody needs to reiterate that at any point.
Imagine girls on stage with him.
Yeah.
Dude, what are you doing?
Just say no to heroin, kids. Just say no.
Oh, let's see. I do know Dr. Feelgood, Kickstart My Heart, and Same Old Situation. So it's pretty okay. It's okay. Those are great songs. I don't know the rest of them though. Like if you look at the listen counts, like some of them are.
Yeah.
If Dr. Feelgood at 266 million compared to the 5 and 8 of the songs around it. It's not even the biggest song on here. 736 million streams. As far as I think it's a pretty okay album, yeah.
And Too Fast for Love is by Motley Crue is the next album.
Too fast for love. I remember my dad used to like Motley Crue a lot better. He'd be able to give a lot more commentary than I can on this.
Yeah, same with my mom.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So Dr. Feelgood, Girls, Theater of Pain, ugh. Shout at the Devil, Too Fast for Love. Oh, their first album. Nice. Man. I don't know this album. I think I remember my dad saying Shout at the Devil was one of their strongest albums, and I think he's right. I think Dr. Feelgood right after that is well, let's see. Yeah. Dr. Feelgood is right after Shout at the Devil as far as good albums go, but it's more than Motley Crue. I don't know if they really followed a theme with their album at all. They just put songs together.
Pretty much. It was the 80s. What is this theme you have to follow? Everybody's all on
I got
cocaine
a whole bunch of songs.
and hairspray, goddammit. Alright, next up, Ace of Spades by Motorhead.
Ooh. I know like 2 songs off of it, so I actually can't say anything.
I can't say anything either.
Damn, that sucks.
And then Overkill by Motorhead.
I know even less.
You know anything about Mudvayne?
I might. Oh no, more about Puddle of Mud, not Mudvayne.
Alright, that says it all. Mutter by Rammstein.
Mutter. Oh man. Oh, what an album. Mein Herz brennt. Links 2, 3, 4. Son, ich will. Mutter is on here. I know 3 of the songs.
I know
Son, ich will, Firefly, and I actually do know Mutter.
they're pretty good songs.
They're damn good songs. So I'm confident in saying that this album's pretty solid. For as far as Rammstein goes, yeah, I think I'd be comfortable in saying it's probably some of their better work. So at least, yeah, pretty good. I don't think it's an incredible album because I can't speak on it, but I also don't think Rammstein has any contenders for best album on this list.
Nah. Pretty Hate Machine by 9 Inch Nails.
Ooh, I don't know 9 Inch Nails. Do you know 9 Inch Nails very well?
I do not know
At least
9 Inch
albums?
Nails. I don't know 9 Inch Nails albums very well.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Which also means a Downward Spiral is going to have to end up being on the didn't listen to list.
Damn. That's a shame.
Alright, Nevermind by Nirvana.
There we go. I don't think it's a perfect album. Let me just get that out of the way now. Nevermind is an incredible album. I don't think it's perfect.
There are some songs on Nevermind that I've come around to, but if I ever have to listen to It Smells Like Teen Spirit ever again, it would be too goddamn soon.
2 billion streams. I love that song. It's so fun to play. Oh my god. Alright. Smells Like Teen Spirit. In Bloom, Come As You Are, Breed, Lithium, Poly. I think we could cut out Poly at the end. 5 songs like that in a row is incredible. It's just a shame that most of the second half kind of just peers off, especially compared to the how well the first half does. It does come back with something in the way towards the end, an endless nameless. I think it's lost a little bit in the middle, but this is, I think, Nirvana's best album.
So you'd say it's pretty good then.
I'd bump it up one more than pretty good.
Okay, so incredible.
I'd say it's an incredible album,
All right.
just because the the sheer power in that first five. Even though the middle kind of fades away, I'd say it's at the lower end of being an incredible album, but this is Nirvana. I think this album deserves that spot with how much they changed the landscape of music just during that short time.
All right. What's the story Morning Glory by Oasis?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I have listened to this album front to back.
Oh.
It's actually very solid. Surprisingly enough. Okay, so it starts off with Hello. Pretty solid opening track. It's got a little bit of a heavy edge to it. You know. Then it moves on to Roll With It. Roll With It's pretty nice. Then fucking Wonderwall.
Wonderwall. Today.
Okay, so
Bye now.
Yes,
No,
thank you.
no, 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 no.
Yes, thank you, Neil, for making the only version of that song that I would listen to. No, but here's the thing, like, to go off on a bit of a tangent, why that fucking song had to be the most popular from Oasis?
Champagne Supernova. Like, it's right there.
I know. So, like, you probably never listened to Astro Lounge by Smash Mouth, have you? The full Astro Lounge album.
No, I'm not.
Okay. So, Astro Lounge and actually Fush You Mang, which was their first album, are both pretty solid albums. Astro Lounge has a solid fucking list. Except for All Star, which is goddamn insufferable. Guess which song was the most popular off of Astro Lounge? It's the same fucking thing with What's the Story Morning Glory. It's like, of all the songs that could have been made popular, you chose the most annoying. Why?
To you, it might be annoying. To other people, it's catchy.
But after Wonderwall, follows up with Don't Look Back in Anger. Bit of an odd transition, but okay, fair enough. Then from Don't Look Back in Anger...
Don't Look Back in Anger at the last song.
But then it goes from Don't Look Back in Anger to Hey Now. Fair enough. Nice mellow track to kind of sustain some of the heaviness of Don't Look Back in Anger. Then there's the interlude, then Some Might Say, which is pretty nice song, pretty mellow. Then Cast No Shadow, which is probably close to one of my personal favorites off the album. I really do like that song quite a bit. And then it moves on from the heaviness of Cast No Shadow to She's Electric, which, honestly, of all the Beatles-inspired songs, this is probably one of the better ones, I think. It's pretty catchy. It's got a nice, jaunty tune to it. Then you've got Morning Glory, pretty solid epic rocker. Then another interlude, and then you finish off with Champagne Supernova, as you should, because Champagne Supernova is fucking incredible. So yes, the vast majority of the album is actually pretty good. The song progression works. Hell, I can even tolerate Liam Gallagher's unenthused Shriek of the Damned for the majority of the time. But goddamn motherfucking Wonderwall. Ugh. The only thing I can say in its favor is that they get it out of the way as fast as possible, and everything after that is pretty solid. So I will put it as an incredible album.
Wow, really?
Yes, because it actually legitimately is a very solid album with a lot of good tracks to it, some solid instrumentality, and nice progression and flow. It's just goddamn Wonderwall that has to ruin it.
And then here's Wonderwall.
Doesn't help that it's the song that every single fucking talentless prick with a guitar knows and is the only song they play. Oh yeah, I know how to play guitar. Do you know any other song besides Wonderwall? Not really.
Ooh.
Alright. Far Beyond Driven by Pantera.
Man, what?
Far Beyond Driven by Pantera, the next
I
album.
I heard you, but
That says it all. Of course, the next Pantera album, Vulgar Display of Power.
there we go. So I think that Vulgar Display of Power has the in-your-face rawness that Pantera usually puts on display, but Cowboy Boys to Hell is the more refined version of that. This is the raw version.
Mm.
So I think I don't know where to put it because it displays more what Pantera is, but obviously, we're the Cowboys of Hell. Like that's their thing. And most of the songs don't show the same restraint that they need to, like Cemetery Gates did with their the jazziness of it, honestly. So I think it's lower than Cowboys of Hell.
Alright.
I'd say it's a pretty okay album. No, it's pretty good.
Besides, you listen. Besides, I dare you to find any person alive who listens to Walk and doesn't immediately want to start throwing hands.
Fucking right.
I'll still never forget the time when fucking Pantera did the background music for a SpongeBob episode.
Jesus Christ.
Remember that?
I barely do.
The hibernation
That was,
episode?
that's oh yeah. Fucking wild. SpongeBob was weird, man.
I just keep imagining them actually singing the SpongeBob SquarePants theme. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? I'm swimming in yellow and Boris is here. Alright, moving on. Love, Hate, Tragedy by Papa Roach.
I don't listen to a ton of Papa Roach. I'm
I
going to
don't
be honest.
either. And the other one is Infest, so yeah. Infest is the album with Last Resort on it.
Come on, like. Anyways.
Power Man 5000, we don't listen to that much.
I do listen to Fireman 5000.
Oh! Well, there's a self-titled album, and then there's Tonight the Stars Revolt.
All right. Let's see here. Self-titled and Tonight the Stars Revolt. All right. Supernova Goes Pop. Worlds Collide. That's about all we know from Tonight the Stars Revolt. And I'm guessing Bombshell's off their self-titled. No, that's Anyone for Doomsday. Oh, it's not good.
Did you know the lead singer of Power Man 5000 is actually Rob Zombie's younger brother?
I did know that, and it blew my mind when I heard that.
But now when you listen to it, it's like, nah, that makes total sense.
That makes sense, yeah. They have a self-titled?
I don't know if it is a self-titled or not.
What does it look like?
Hang on. No, it's Transform is the title of it.
Transform! Transform is the one they picked.
Do you think...
Oh.
Let me guess.
Okay.
Do you think anyone for Doomsday is the better album?
Well, given that Bombshell's on it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then again, the overall listen counts are lower than Transform. Maybe I should give Transform a shot.
But put both in Never Heard.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't heard enough.
Satellite by POD.
I have not listened to enough POD.
Really?
Nope, not enough at least.
Well, let's see what's
I
off.
know them well enough to know I haven't heard enough of them to make a good assessment.
Then it. Okay.
Go on then, make an assessment.
Well, no,
No, I'm sorry. I was quoting old Greg.
let's see what's off of Satellite here. Set It Off, Alive, Boom, Youth of the Nation,
Boom,
Celestial,
here comes the boom.
Satellite, Ridiculous, The Messenger. Okay, so Alive, Boom, and Youth of the Nation all in a row. I mean, that's pretty solid, but...
Solid. What's the rest of the album look like then?
Probably not looking too good.
That would be the guess.
Alright, Come Clean by Puddle of Mud.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty. Control, have to die out of my head. Nobody told me. Blurry, she hates me. I don't know any of the other ones. That's a shame. Anyways,
Yeah, same here. Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
man.
I tried listening to this front to back.
It's hard.
It is hard. There's so much fucking filler in there.
There's so much filler. Oh my god, 18 tracks, and you go through the best one
Pretty
in the first 6.
yeah.
Scar Tissue is good. Californication is Californication, which somehow in itself became a parody of itself, which is just so weird.
I mean, you've got Scar Tissue and then Other Side immediately following after that. That's solid song progression there, but...
I mean, around the world, Parallel Universe is okay. Scar Tissue to Other Side getting a little slower, speed up with Get On Top than Californication. Kind of odd. I'd say it's okay, just because you get through all of the good stuff almost immediately, and then everything else is also there.
well,
Road Trippin's on there. Wow, what is that? I've never heard this song.
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of All Around the World, I'll be honest.
No. I'm not either, actually.
Rain and Blood by Slayer.
Oh. Slayer. There's, of course, the title song. Then you have Angel of Death. Very nice. Ooh, I don't know the rest of it. This is an album I do need to absolutely listen to front to back. But I just haven't. So I can't say anything about it.
South of Heaven by Slayer.
On and on, South of Heaven. Alright, let's see. South of Heaven getting that out of the way immediately. Wow, okay. And the that's a shame. No, don't know it very well. Feel like I should.
The Sinister Orgy by Rob Zombie. I think pretty much the only song anyone knows off that album is Feel So Numb. And that's about it.
Yeah. Oh, Demon Speeding.
Next up, The Great Southern Trendkill by Pantera.
We've already touched on the two biggest Pantera albums. I don't even think we can even begin to look at this one.
No More Mr. Nice Guy by Megadeth.
By Megadeth?
Yes. No, No More Mr. Sick Guy by Megadeth.
There we go. Let's see here. I'm not seeing it.
No, it is No More Mr. Nice Guy by Megadeth.
Countdown to Extinction, which had Symphony of Destruction on it. So far, so what? So far, so good. So what? Ugh.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on Spotify either. That's weird.
No, I'm not seeing it.
All right.
Whack.
All right.
Well, goodbye.
All right. Jar of Flies by Alice
Oh,
in
damn.
Chains. I haven't listened to the entire album front to back, but yeah, there's some pretty harrowing tracks on that album.
Nutshell until I Stay Away. Damn.
Yeah, that
It's only 7 tracks long, but oof.
I don't think it's as good as Dirt, but it's still a
No.
pretty solid album nevertheless. So I'll put it in pretty good. By the way, by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Which has the title track as the opener. Pretty solid.
It is Zephyr Song, Can't Stop. And of course, as usual with Red Hot Chili Peppers, they go through the good songs in the beginning and it goes on for a little bit too long.
Oh yeah, also no Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Why?
Excuse me?
I swear to God, it's not on there.
Huh?
It's not.
This doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Yeah, let's not include the album that's got fucking Suck My Kiss, Give It Away Now, goddamn Under the Bridge.
You kidding me? Ugh, this list is a farce.
It is a farce, but we're going through it and trying to make it seem respectable nevertheless.
I hate it. I hate it. As far as that other one went, I'd say it's better than Californication, to be honest.
Really?
Well, no, well, hold on, man. Let's back up a little bit on that statement. Actually, I thought about it after I said it. No, the Californication is better. It's the self irony of Californication just overwhelmed me for just a little bit there.
All right, next up, Antichrist Superstar by Marilyn Manson.
Man, if only I had listened to his albums at all.
That's the one that's got the beautiful people on it.
Yeah, that's the only song I know for certain off of by his.
All right, Peace Sells, but Who Is Buying by Megadeth.
Ooh, there we go. There we go. I don't think it's as strong as Rust in Peace, but it has Wake Up Dead, The Conjuring, Peace Sells, Devil's Island. Yeah, really, Wake Up Dead and Peace Sells are the biggest tracks on here. So I think it is. Oof, how is it compared to
Rest in Peace.
Appetite for Destruction, actually.
You mean Symphony of Destruction?
Oh, that's right. No, it was something else. God. The Symphony of Destruction comes off of. Sorry, the album is actually called Countdown to Extinction. I think it's weaker than Countdown to Extinction.
All right, let's see where. Okay. Finding Beauty in Negative Spaces by Seether.
Ooh. Of course, we have to think about Fake It and, of course, Careless Whisper. But on either end of the album,
There is also Rise
it,
Above this.
there is Rise Above this. Do I know Breakdown? I do know Breakdown. Okay. Then, in that case, I'm pretty confident in saying this is one of Seether's best albums.
So pretty good.
If not the best one, yeah, because Remedy, or Karma in Effect, only really has Remedy. So I'd say it's pretty good, yeah.
All right, Amaryllis by Shinedown.
I don't know that one at all.
The only song I know off of it is Enemies, and it's a good song, but that's
Oh,
about
yeah, I
it.
do know that one, actually.
Yeah, it's
Didn't
not.
realize it was on there.
Yeah, it's not nearly as strong as Sound of Madness. And then Leave a Whisper by Shinedown. Let's see if there's anything here that I recognize. 45. Their cover of Simple Man, which is actually pretty solid. And that's about it.
Well, then.
Siamese Dream by Smashing Pumpkins.
Oof. I know that one's pretty good, right?
Well, let's see what's on here. Cherub Rock is what it starts off with. Then it moves on to Quiet, Today, Hummer, Rocket, Disarm, Soma, Geek USA, Mayonnaise, Space Boy, Silver Fox, Sweet Sweet, Luna. So there's only like 3 songs that I recognize off of this album. And they're good songs. And it's 2 fucking discs. 31 songs,
Oh!
2 hours and 17 minutes in length.
And
Yeah.
none of these are live versions of songs?
No. No, they're not.
Oh, dear.
Actually, no. The second track is just full of like rough sessions, live sessions, Soundworks demos, and stuff like
Okay,
that.
good.
Yeah, the first disc is, but even still, that's 3 songs out of, I don't know how many. Oh, let's see here. 16 Alone by Bush.
Man, I don't know that.
Let's see. Oh, 16 Stone. Okay, here we go. Everything Zen, Come Down, Machine Head, Glycerine. And that's 4 songs out of 12. Pretty much the only 4 songs that anybody other than a Bush fan knows from Bush.
It's true.
I mean, they're pretty solid songs, but I don't know how the rest of the album is, so I'm just going to have to put it in okay. Awake by Skillet.
Hey, I know this one better than the rest of them. For Monster, obviously, and Hero.
Well, there is also...
I'd say it's a... Huh?
Well, there's also Waking Alive, which is pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Though I was just listing up the 2 ones I knew off the top of my head. So I'd say it's a good album. It's a pretty good album.
Alright. Um, another scaled album. Which one is
Another
this?
one?
Another one.
Another one.
Another one. Oh, Comatose. And I only know one song off of it. Good song, but that's the only one I know.
Yep.
Alright. The self-titled album by Slipknot.
Ooh. Self-titled is it's brutal. It's unadulterated. You can hear Corey Taylor murdering his vocal cords
Oh
in
yeah.
the recording booth.
Oh yeah.
It's not Iowa though.
It is not Iowa. It is very rough, but there are still some pretty solid songs on there, all things considered.
No, this is let's hear. Sick, eyeless, wait and bleed, surfacing, spit it out, tattered and torn. Me inside. Scissors. I've listened to this front to back again at the request of my brother, and it is. I'm so glad I did it. This, just like Volume 3, they almost feel like two sides of the same coin. It's just so damn good. It's not a perfect album, but it is so freaking good. I think it is one of, if not the best album they have.
So would you say it's neck and neck with Subliminal Verses, or...
Oh, that's a hard choice. Given the brutality of it that lends back to their origins, kind of made them who they are, I'd say it pulls ahead of the Volume 3.
Alright. Let's see here. Iowa is next.
Oh my god, Iowa. Holy shit, Iowa. By far from a perfect album, but that's what makes it so fucking good. I'd put it neck and neck with the Subliminal Verses, to be honest.
And finally, point 5, The Great Chapter.
Oh man, I love the Great Chapter, but I know it's not as strong as the other two.
There's a lot of instrumentality problems with it.
There is. I personally quite enjoy the feeling of the album. When you listen to it, it starts off very much as it's mourning, of course, and honoring Paul Gray after his passing. Hence the fucking title of the album. But it's like you're attending a funeral and then slowly descending into hell after, with obviously be prepared for hell being you entering the gates and going directly into the negative one with you entering hell. It's a really interesting album. A fantastic listening experience, but I don't think it's as strong as their first 3 albums. I'd say it is better than All Hope Is Gone.
Alright. Break the Cycle by Stained.
I have not listened to Stain very much.
I only know 2 songs by them, and they're both off this album, and they are probably the only 2 good songs they've had, so... Do you listen to Static X?
Push it! That's about it.
Alright. Okay, Core by Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, Sun Temple Pilots.
Starts off with Dead and Bloated, then moves on to Sex Type Thing.
Solid. Then we kind of lose ourselves for a little bit, find ourselves back in Creep and Plush towards the end. It's okay.
And next up is Purple by Stone Temple Pilots. Meat Plow, Vaseline, Loungefly, Interstate Love Song.
Oh, this one. I'd say this is. Oh, is this better than the other album?
Big
I'd say it
Empty.
is. Yeah, yeah, I'd say this is better than. I'd say it's pretty good.
All right. Super Unknown by Soundgarden.
Oh, uh, honestly, I think, and obviously this is gonna be a little bit of a no-brainer, no duh, because of his other band being a fucking super group. But I think his work in Audioslave was so much better than his work in Soundgarden.
Too bad there's no Audio Slave on this list.
Excuse me. There's no Audioslave on this list?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No.
What the fuck? Okay. Well, Super Unknown, I know has Black Hole Sun, right? I'm not crazy.
It has Black Hole Sun. It has
Okay, I'm
Spoon
not crazy.
Man. Day
Spoon
I
Man,
Tried to
fucking
Live.
great.
Um, Fell on Black Days.
Yep. All right. That's all I needed to hear. Yeah, this is a pretty fucking solid album, honestly. It's not perfect. It has its problems because obviously the rest of the list, but given those giant tracks, all basically defining Soundgarden, I'd say that's a pretty solid album.
All right, next up, Toxicity by System of a Down.
Ooh. Good album.
Good album. Not their strongest effort, though. I'll be honest. Like, it starts off strong with Prison Song, and then it kind of loses it a little bit. Dear Dance is okay. Then it picks up again with Chop Suey, and then the next few songs can vary. Bounce and Atwa are solid. Forest and Science are okay. Then it moves on to Toxicity. Then it kind of drops off. Then it goes to Aerials. Doesn't end with Aerials, and it ends with something else. There's some solid songs here. It's definitely better than the self-titled album, but me personally, I think they still had a bit of a ways to go, in all honesty. So I'd put it in pretty good. It's not. I'd say it is a little bit better than Hypnotize, but it's not nearly as good as Mesmerize.
Okay. I can see that.
And then there's Steal This Album. Trying to remember what Steal This Album has on it. And I know that if you're a System of a Down fan, there's this general consensus that if you like the first half of Steal This Album, you tend to like the first two albums. If you like the second half, you like the last two albums. Starts off with Chick in Stew. What a splendid pie. Pizza, pizza, pie. Every minute, every second. Pie, 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 pie. Pepperoni, angry peppers, mushrooms, olive chives. Inversion. Bubbles. Boom. Highway Song. Yeah, I haven't listened to much of Steal This Album to get a really solid grasp on it. So, it's the only unranked System of a Down album there is. Alright. Gift by Taproot.
I don't listen to Taproot. You kidding me?
Temple of the Dog. They only have one song that I know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The Better Life by Three Doors Down. Let's see if there's any other song. Nope. It literally just. It's literally.
Kryptonite.
It's Kryptonite.
Okay.
It starts with Kryptonite, and that's about. And I don't recognize any of this.
Oh no.
Talk about blowing your load pretty goddamn early. Let's see here. Oh, look at that. Godsmack has another album.
Godsmack of all the bands you could have put on there.
The Oracle.
The Oracle.
The Oracle. Apparently it's from 2010.
Oh, this one. All right. So it's got Love, Hate, Sex, Pain, and Whiskey Hangover, and Good Day to Die. And apparently, Crying Like a Bitch is the most popular song off of this. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man.
All right, The Poison by Bullet for My Valentine.
Who made this list?
An idiot, as we've soon come to find out. I think that says it all, really.
Yeah.
Next up, The Sickness by Disturbed.
There we go. That's the Disturbed album we've been waiting for.
Hey, did you know that this year is its 25th anniversary?
I did know, yes. All right, let's see here. It obviously isn't the perfect album. It's got its flaws
The
as
the cringy breakdown of Down with the Sickness being one of them.
yeah, a little bit. Um Disturbed's first, I think first for right. Yeah, this is their first album. Fucking incredible first album. Voices, The Game, Stupefied, Down with the Sickness. Then you lose it a little bit with Violence Fetish. You kind of just lose most of it until you get to Shout 2000. Have an incredibly strong start and a good finish with a middling middle. If that doesn't say anything about a lot of albums, I don't know what doesn't. I don't know what does.
So you'd say it's pretty good?
It's a pretty good album.
All right, Threat to Survival by Shinedown.
You got me there.
I've listened to a few songs off of it. Um, Obviously not as good as Sound of Madness. Songs I do like are solid. Cut the Cord obviously is a banger. State of My Head I kind of have to be in the mood for. I'm not saying it's bad. Black Cadillac is a pretty underrated song in my opinion. Yeah, I'd say it's okay. It's okay. Undertow by Tool.
Okay.
Um. So Tool's first album. Uh. Okay, there are some solid songs on there. Sober, obviously, probably the one of the biggest radio hits that they've had. Title track's pretty good. Prison Sex, yikes.
Yikes.
Have you seen the music video for that song?
I'd rather not.
Yeah, you'd best be better off not watching it. I mean, even the opening track Intolerance is pretty good. Problem is just most of the songs are good, but they're not great, and they really do kind of blend into the general metal landscape of 1993. I mean, you can listen to similar albums and bands and find a lot of similarities. They really hadn't found their identity just yet. And what bits there were in there were very, very minor. So it's a good album. And where is 10,000 Days? Yeah, I'd put Anima above 10,000 Days, but Undertow below 10,000 Days. Fear Inoculum.
You have opinions about that one.
Fucking hate it. So much. Listened to it once, did not listen to it again. Because all it just was overlong, overwrought, pretentious, meandering, noise. Noise upon noise upon noise. No progression. No differentiation in key. None of it. Just add world drums, add more distortion effects, add more this, add more that. And it was a slog to get through. I I I just hate it so bad. I have had no desire to go back to Fear Inoculum. I have had no desire to give it a second chance. I have had no desire to listen to any of its tracks individually. And considering that, you know, most Tool fans waited 13 goddamn years for it to get released, it was not worth the wait. Period. So yeah,
Would you say it's our first, honest to God, dog shit album?
I would go so far as to say so, yes. And,
Oh, damn.
and I am putting it
That
above
hurts.
and I am putting it above Results May Vary by Limp Bizkit because even
It
Tool at
better
its
be.
worst is still better than fucking Limp Bizkit.
It fucking better be.
Alright. As Daylight Dies by Killswitch Engage.
Oh, wait. Isn't that the one we just talked about?
That's the one we confused with The End of Heartache. This is the one that has my curse on it.
There we go.
And the
Much
cover
better.
of Holy Diver.
Well, it's a shame I don't know any other tracks.
Alright, that
Sick.
says it. Alright. We Are Not Alone by Breaking Benjamin.
Really?
Really? Let's see here. So Cold starts off strong. Okay. And that's the only song I know off that album.
Ouch.
The Blue Album by Weezer.
Why are you here? I mean, you have more right to be here than some of the other albums, but
Let's see what songs there are. Starts off strong with My Name is Jonas. No One Else, World Has Turned On Left Me. Buddy Holly, The Sweater Song. Surf Wax America, Say It Ain't So. In the Garage, Holiday, Only in Dreams. Some pretty solid songs on here. Haven't listened to the entire album, but some pretty solid songs nevertheless.
let me make sure. I actually need to look this up. Weezer. Self-titled.
Well,
My
call it-
name's Jonah. Yeah, no, I know it's the Blue Album.
Yeah.
Buddy Holly, Sweater Song, Surf Wax America, Say It Ain't So. It's a fun album.
Pretty good album.
That's the problem. I don't know if it's. You know what? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's better than just okay because it's Weezer. And Weezer's pretty nice to listen to. Certainly better than. Certainly earns its spot better than some of the other albums that were on this list.
Oh, yeah. Astro Creep 2000 by White Zombie. Only song anyone knows off of it is More Human Than Human, and that's about it. 13 by Mushroom Head.
Don't listen to much Mushroom Head.
Of course, the Slipknot fan would not listen to Mushroom Head.
I guarantee you it has nothing to do with it.
I mean, Sun Doesn't Rise is a solid song, but that's the only other song besides QWERTY that I know. Oozed by Meshuggah. You know Meshuggah?
I don't listen to Meshuggah, no.
You listen to Cannibal Corpse?
Nope.
I don't know what that font is. Primus.
Yo!
Fizzle Fry is what it starts off with.
Okay, well, let's see if I know this one at all. fucking albums. Oh my god, I cannot. Spotify, please.
See if I know any songs on Fizzle Fry. I kind of know John the Fisherman. And that's about it.
John the Fisherman. There you go, Fizzle Fry. Yeah, I only know John the Fisherman.
Sailing the Seas of Cheese.
God. The seas of cheese. Here come the bastards. God. Jerry was a race car driver. I don't know the rest of these. God damn it.
Tales for the Punch Bowl. And no, pork soda's not on this list. What the actual
What the
fuck?
What the fuck? Who?
Yes, don't put pork soda. Do not put My Name is Mud and Mr. Crinkle on there. No.
God, I hate this list.
I hate it too. Oh, let's see. Tales from the Punch Bowl. Why known as Big Brown Beaver. There's that.
Hell yeah.
Southbound
God, those fucking cowboy hats.
Those costumes, man. They're just...
just so good.
Just the gif of those three walking side by side stiff.
Us chuckle fucks on our way to play Hunt Showdown for the first time.
Us when we're trying to rob something in Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, that's the only song I know off of Tales from the Punch Bowl. Wish I'd listened to more Primus. Yeah.
The overwhelming conclusion from a lot of this list is, hey, I should listen to more music.
Yes. Okay, I don't know what this idiot was thinking of putting Chinese Democracy on this list, but I'm going to put it in the dog
crap
category.
By whom?
Chinese Democracy by Guns N' Roses.
Why is it here?
I have no idea, but I am putting it in the dog crap category where it rightfully belongs.
Good.
Now let's see here. Have you listened to Death, the band Death?
I have not, but I know some people who will sing its praises over and over. I just wish I could.
Suicide Silence?
Nope.
I have no idea. Fucking fond of some of these bands. As I Lay Dying.
Oh man, heard good things. Never heard them. Never heard a song from them.
August Burns Red.
Ooh, nope.
Trivium.
Hey, there's one I recognize. I can't name a good album from them, unfortunately.
Falling in Reverse, let's put that in dog crap because that's where it frankly belongs.
Yeah.
Motionless in White.
Ooh. I do know a few of their songs. I don't know their albums.
Okay, fair enough. Whitechapel.
Nope.
All That Remains.
Also a nope.
2 more Bring Me the Horizon albums.
All right. What do we got?
First one is Suicide Season.
Really?
Really.
Really?
Really.
By the way, this is an album from 2008. I didn't know these guys were this old.
The more you know.
So needless to say, no.
Senpai Eternal is one of the albums on here as well. I didn't recognize it at first.
Senpai what?
Sempiternal. That's the one that's got the meme song on it.
Right. That's right. Can You Feel My Heart? House of Wolves. I actually did listen to this one a little bit. I didn't get all the way through it, unfortunately. Bring Me the Horizon is, again, one of those bands that, unfortunately, knows its sound. So when it really gets into its sound, it's hard to get away from it.
But
Albums. So it was Sempiternal, that other one from Suicide
Suicide
Season.
Seasons.
What else we got?
The last one is Count Your Blessings.
Count Your Blessings. Their first one in 2006?
Yep.
What the fuck? Okay, not the albums I would have chosen. That's the Spirit and Sempiternal makes sense. I would have put, even though it is mostly a collaboration album, Post-Human Survival Horror on there. Actually, when was this list made, you know?
It had to have been recent. Like
It
maybe
had
a
to have
year or
been.
two ago, I want to say.
I will say Sempiternal is a pretty okay album. I think it's one of their most cohesive pieces of work. But it is unfortunately harder to get through. I wish Next Gen was on there, because I think that would score, with me at least, much higher.
Have you listened to much Gojira?
Ooh, I have. I might actually be able to talk about some of these. Is it oh my god, From Sirius to Mars?
Let's see here. From Mars to Sirius is on here.
From Mars to Sirius, hell yes! Fantastic album. Love it. Front to back, it's an experience.
All right. Terra Incognita. You know that one?
2001? Jesus. I would have picked up Magna before that one. What the... Or La Font Sauvage. What the fuck? I have no idea about that one. I know From Mars to Sirius is at least a pretty good album. I'd say it's the... What's the one above Perfect Album again? I keep forgetting.
Perfect down to the last detail.
Oh, no. What's the one below that? Sorry.
Incredible album.
I'd say from... It is From Mars to Sirius, right? Not
Yes.
Sirius to Mars.
Yes.
Okay, From Mars to Sirius is an incredible album. From front to back, I think it's one of Gojira's best works, and you can really tell their technical ability and the way they put together the album it's just amazing. Also, Flying Whales has whale sounds in it, 10 out of 10.
The Way of All Flesh.
Ooh. Ooh. Did they actually?
Yeah, the Way of All Flesh is on here.
No way. Hold on, I gotta make sure. Oh my god. I have to make sure that this... One of their albums has just... If you look at the last song off of the Way of All Flesh,
Mm-hmm.
it's a song about death and about the environment. Gojira is actually very big on environmental protection and keeping the world as it is. And this is a commentary on, of course, the environment and death when it comes to us. Humans are not here forever. It is a part of life. The last song, The Way of Flesh, this whole thing is about death. It goes through Ouroboros Toxic Garbage Island, goes all the way through this entire album, and then the last song is a 17-minute song, and I'll tell you why it's that way. The actual song, The Way of All Flesh, only goes on for about 7 minutes.
Hmm.
And then it cuts to complete silence until like 10 minutes later, or until like 8 minutes later. but it comes in with album noise. It is bold, to say the least. I don't think anybody else would put 5 minutes of dead silence at the end of their album to make a point, but they did. And I respect the hell out of them for it, because it sends a really poignant message in their album about death, mind you, that this is it. This is the end. That's all that waits. Silence. And just for that alone, I'd say that's a pretty good album.
Alright, L'Enfant Sauvage.
Oh, there we go. That's more like it. L'Enfant Sauvage is, I think L'Enfant Sauvage is the best song off of that one. I actually can't comment too much about that one. I haven't listened to the whole album, but I do know it's good. Very good.
Alright, and then Magma. Magma's on here also.
Hell yes. Hell yes it is. Silvera, The Call, Stranded. I mean, even you know Stranded.
I think I do. I believe so.
I haven't listened to Magma enough to really place it, though. That is a problem. I would say it's probably better than The Way of All Flesh.
Alright. And final 2 albums. Have you listened to Mastodon?
Yeah.
He
It
says
pains me to
with
say, because they are the
disappointment.
worst. They are the worst live concert experience I've ever had.
Ouch.
It sucked. I am so sad it turned out that way.
Well, there's only 2 albums. First one is Leviathan.
It's pretty good. I don't know their second album like at all.
Well, the other album is Emperor of Sand.
Yeah,
Alright.
I don't know it very well.
Alright, that is it for all the albums. Do we
You're
want to...
kidding me. Are you joking? That's it?
That's it.
That is sad.
That is sad.
Where's Muse on this list? Where, unfortunately, is the Beatles? Because they are still somehow rock. Where is Creedence Clearwater Revival? Where is, fucking, oh my god, the Rolling Stones? Like, where's the rest of the Five Finger Death Punch albums?
Yeah, what?
Why was it that one?
You don't even... You put every other dual album on the list, but yet part 2 of Wrong Side of Heaven, The Righteous Son of Hell isn't on there. And yet you decide to put that still above fucking Where's the Answer?
What the actual hell?
I want to find the person who made this and punch them so hard that they never make children for the rest of their life.
Like, why? Why? Where's the Ozzy Osbourne albums? Where's Audio Slave?
I don't get
Where's
it.
Volbeat?
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Where is fucking Power Slave from Iron Maiden? Where's Fear of the Dark?
I
No
know.
other albums from Pearl Jam either. No Aerosmith. No The Doors. No other Foo Fighters albums. No Pink Floyd.
I know taste is subjective and everything, but this whoever made this has got a palate like a cow's backside.
Like, you include... I love Bring Me the Horizon, don't get me wrong, but you include the deepest cut of their 2005 album to put on this list? and Bullet from My Valentine, you include fucking Fall Out Boy, and you don't include Folie à Deux? Are you kidding me?
I don't get it, man. I just don't. It's lists like
Oh,
this that make Baby Jesus cry.
where's Dancing? Where's Rush? God help me. Where's Coldplay? The Weezer's on here. Coldplay should be.
Listen, as long as it's just a rush of blood to the head, I would be okay with that.
I'd be okay with that. I mean, I hesitate to call them rock, but if Weezer's here, they deserve to be here too. And I
You don't
love
have
Weezer.
Pinkerton by Weezer on here! You've got the Blue Album, but you don't have fucking Pinkerton!
No, the Killers. No Leonard Skinner. No fucking. Oh. Oh my god. No. Oh my god. I can't. My brain is quitting at this point.
Do we want
No
to...
Fleetwood Mac.
Do we
No
want...
Journey. No Led Zeppelin. No Def Leppard. I'm gonna strangle this man.
Do we want to try and refine this list a bit?
Not today. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, how much is it? Holy shit, it's been almost 4 hours since I started recording.
Yeah. Yeah.